Chapter 458. The profound darkness sect's leader goes insane however, they still underestimated Lu Yun's strength, as he had concealed all of it before the battle began. And even when he killed the middle-aged man in green, he did not fully reveal his prowess. Seeing the 5 rune seed realm martial artists surround him, Lu Yun sneered and consecutively chopped out several sword chi with his sky brilliant sword. Each sword chi was enough to astonish the heart of any mid-rune seed realm martial artist. Of the 5 rune seed realm martial artists, aside from 1 late rune seed realm who could resist, the other 4 barely managed to dispel the sword chi by using all their strength and means. His strength is too powerful. We must not be defeated one by one, said the late rune seed realm martial artist solemnly. All right. The other 4 nodded in agreement, and each occupied a position in midair. The positions they took were very profound, forming a whole together. To attack any one of them, one would have to deal with the other 4 first. Watching this scene, Lu Yun once again wielded the sky brilliant sword, instantly slashing out more than 10 sword chi, bombarding them relentlessly but to no avail. This is merely a futile struggle. Lu Yun soared into the air, gripping the sky brilliant sword with both hands, and the pure yang aura origin, a powerful and domineering force, poured into it, along with the 7th rank thunder conception blessings. Sky brilliance thunder sword true art. 1 sword terminates the world. The surging sword radiance descended as if to tear space apart, suddenly bursting forth with a thunderous glow. The 5 martial artists exerted their utmost strength, unleashing their celestial fists, domineering blade radiance, rampant spear radiance, sharp sword light, and a single suppressing finger that targeted the thunderous sword radiance. Sword radiance shattered, purple thunder crumbled, and the 5 martial artists revealed a hint of a smile, while Lu Yun showed a touch of astonishment. Surprisingly, they were evenly matched, which meant that the alliance of the 5 could actually contend against him. These 5, the strongest being only a late rune seed realm, were all ordinary rune seed realm martial artists, none of them having any ability to challenge higher ranks. Looking at them in amazement, Lu Yun startlingly discovered that although they had different appearances and weapons, their auras were connected and their runes circulated harmoniously without any repulsion. Ha ha ha! Our 5 brothers grew up with each other since childhood. Not only did we eat, drink, defecate, and urinate together, we even practiced together. We have already achieved a psychic connection and are capable of mobilizing each other's power to enhance our own. No matter how strong you are, you cannot defeat our 5 brothers, said one of them, laughing and swinging his long spear. So that's how it is, said Lu Yun as he nodded, suddenly vanished, and reappeared above the 5 of them. He combined his body and sword into one, transforming into a dazzling and intense sword light that erupted with unparalleled brilliance. Like a torrential current, it crushed the vacuum space and bombarded the 5 martial artists with an irresistibly powerful force. Sky brilliance thunder sword true art. 1 sword terminates the void, had twice the power of 1 sword terminates the world. Its terrifyingly powerful sword might, like that of hundreds of rivers converging, fell upon the 5 of them. The 5, upon seeing this, had a sudden change of expression and unleashed their ultimate moves again. 5 attacks, like falling stars, blasted out, only to be shattered by the sword radiance. Collisions, unparalleled collisions, took place in this empty space. The man who was previously excited and had even laughed at Lu Yun felt his long spear being constantly bombarded by a terrifying force. This relentless force was like a raging sea with endless power and also like wild thunder, impulsive and domineering beyond compare. This top-grade mysterious weapon, the long spear in his hand, actually began to shatter inch by inch under the impact of this powerful force. The other 4 faced the same situation. Under the sword light of the void, nothing could withstand its might. 1 sword terminates the void was invincible, breaking down everything in its path as if there was nothing that could resist it in this world. Crack! Splat! After the sword light swept across the void, none of the 5 Rune Seed realm martial artists was left unscathed. They were all bloodied, and 2 of them even had their fists severed and their fingers chopped off. Lu Yun's eyes brightened, and his figure disappeared, descending to attack. At this point, the delicate unity of the 5 Rune Seed realm martial artists was completely broken by Lu Yun's force, scattering them apart. They could only block Lu Yun's consecutive attacks by relying on their united state with a telepathic connection between the 5. Once this formation was broken, they became ordinary mid and late Rune Seed realm martial artists who were unable to withstand Lu Yun's onslaught. In just a dozen breaths, Lu Yun killed one of them. Immediately following, his figure shot through the air once more. Whoosh! The second one was pierced right through the forehead, his life force completely extinguished. After another dozen breaths, the third person fell. Half a quarter of an hour later, the last person, who was a Rune Seed realm late-stage martial artist, was torn to shreds by the dozen or so sword chi unleashed by Lu Yun. At the same time, the situation on the battlefield seemed to become gradually clearer. Under the assault of the Demon Suppression Army, and with Lu Yun successively killing many Rune Seed realm warriors, the Profound Darkness sect gradually began to falter. This battle is secured. Wei Zongqing and the other demon extermination generals felt a heavy burden lifted, thinking that the battle would not last much longer before reaching its climax. There were many strong warriors in the Profound Darkness sect, but they were no match for the Demon Suppression Army and were constantly overwhelmed. As for Lu Yun, his successive slaying of 8 or 9 Rune Seed realm warriors undoubtedly accelerated the progress of this battle. Boom! Boom! In the void, Wei Tianluan, enveloped in golden light, looked like a god with a massive azure cauldron suppressing all directions, causing the void within tens of thousands of miles to tremble constantly. However, the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect was wrapped in black, profound light, invulnerable to everything, not even allowing the terror-filled suppressing power of the azure, profound, demon-suppressing ding to affect him in the slightest. The defeat of the Profound Darkness sect is set today. There is no point in being stubborn. As Wei Tianluan spoke, he struck a palm, with runes blooming like surging waves, grand and boundless, covering the sky and the earth. Stars in the palm. With the golden core divine ability unleashed, the void runes looked like the birth of stars, radiating unparalleled power, forcibly crushing down on the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect. Damn it! The eyes of the sect leader of Profound Darkness sect were icy and dreadful. He thought that with his golden core realm peak strength, there would be no problem in suppressing a mere Wei Tianluan. However, he never expected the enemy's strength to be so formidable. With the late Golden Core realm, he was able to contend with his own peak Golden Core realm without falling behind. Even relying on that giant bronze cauldron, he was still faintly suppressing himself. Moreover, the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect clearly sensed the continuous fall of the strong warriors of the Profound Darkness sect. In that case, the Profound Darkness domain would be completely lost, and the Demon Suppression Army they were restraining here would be completely free to support the main force of the Demon Suppression Army. By that time, his agreement with the Red Moon Demon sect and the 9 Nether Demon sect would be completely voided. Thinking of this, a fierce look appeared on his face. Wei Tianluan, you forced the hand of this seat. Today, even if the Profound Darkness sect is completely destroyed, this seat will bury your entire Demon Suppression Army here. So you will know that the Profound Darkness sect and this seat are not to be trifled with by the Demon Suppression Army. The sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect unleashed his full power, shaking off the azure, profound, demon-suppressing ding from above his head, and his body suddenly soared, overlooking the silent plain. Boom! Endless patterns suddenly appeared from the void. turning into a series of black order chains, hanging down from the infinite void. Something is wrong. Wei Tianluan felt that something was amiss, frowning slightly. Looking at these emerging black order chains, although he felt somewhat disturbed, he did not detect any danger. "What are you up to? Are you prepared to give up resisting? If that's the case, I don't mind leaving your body intact." Wei Tianlun's gaze towards the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect was extremely indifferent, but filled with boundless coldness. Ignorant. The sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect coldly snorted, his figure continuing to soar, overlooking the void and all living beings. Then he slowly moved his hands apart from his chest, and a series of black beams of light, like abyssal dragons containing terrifying power, poured down from the void, rushing directly into the center of the silent plain. That direction was precisely the Black Nether River. Chapter 459. 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array. What's going on? Looking at the black order chains falling from the void, Linghu Dao and Master Chongkong frowned slightly. A faint uneasiness emerged in their hearts, but without any sense of crisis and their full focus on fighting the two elders of Profound Darkness, they didn't bother inquiring further. Sect leader strength is becoming more and more formidable, capable of inducing such terrifying anomalies. Contrary to the unease in Linghu Dao and Master Changkong's hearts, the two elders of Profound Darkness were excited. However, they also didn't know the true intention of the Profound Darkness sect leader, simply thinking it was their sect leader's divine ability. The fierce battle between the Profound Darkness sect and the Demon Suppression Army continued. However, no one noticed the surging undercurrents in the sky above the silent plain and at the bottom of the Black Nether River. After Lu Yun changed the battlefield and killed 3 Rune Seed Realm experts, the remaining Profound Darkness sect experts scattered and fled. Watching the enemies leaving rapidly like a rainbow, Lu Yun didn't chase after them. Instead, he looked around. At this moment, he also sensed something was amiss, as if a crisis was approaching. However, the Demon Suppression Army was currently becoming more and more courageous, while the Profound Darkness sect was retreating continuously. There were no issues noticed. With his strength, unless several Rune Seed Realm Peak experts attacked him at the same time, he should not face any crises. Unless one of the Profound Darkness sect's Golden Core Realm experts made a move against him. If any of the Golden Core Realm experts from the Profound Darkness sect were to make a move, Linghu Dao and Duge Yuan would definitely not sit idly by. After some thought, Lu Yun concluded that he might be overly cautious. Shaking his head slightly, he collected his thoughts, launched the 3,000 Thunder Movement, and rushed towards another part of the battlefield. Hiss! Suddenly, the evil chi permeating the sky above the silent plain surged like a raging tide. Immediately afterward, more than a dozen black columns burst out of the Black Nether River. From these black columns, black fog rushed out like mushroom clouds, rapidly expanding and enveloping the entire surroundings. The speed of the black fog was swift. In no time, the entire silent plain was enveloped. The fighting on both sides didn't react right away. By the time they reacted, it was already too late. The black fog was filled with a cold and wicked aura, like the death chi representing darkness and the evil chi representing destruction and violence. It felt like both combined, making everyone feel chilled to the bone. After the black fog quickly enveloped the surroundings, Lu Yun didn't hesitate and immediately gave up the pursuit, staying vigilant against all directions. Zhuang, Ziyuan, Wei Zongqing, and other demon extermination generals were originally engaged in fierce battles, but now they had each stopped their attacks, their faces tense as they watched the unfolding situation. The Profound Darkness sect's experts were also wary, huddling together while watching the surroundings and guarding against the attacks of the Demon Suppression Army. Buzz! A faint light suddenly lit up at the bottom of the fog. The light traced inky black, snake-like lines followed by the black fog tumbling, and death chi and evil chi gathering into a pitch-black phantom. What shocked everyone even more was that the corpses on the ground, their blood and life essence, were being swept by an unknown force. They began to approach the black phantoms, merging together, eventually solidifying into tangible forms. And thus, monstrous creatures that were neither human nor ghost were born from the black fog. These creatures were pitch black, had a humanoid structure with eyes, ears, and noses. However, tentacles grew on their heads, wings on their backs, and razor-sharp nails on their hands and feet. However, these creatures didn't show any abnormalities yet, simply standing there blankly. While everyone was shocked and puzzled, the black order chains extending from the sky burst with black profound light, injecting it into the bodies of the dazed creatures. Roar! With the infusion of the black profound light, a sturdy and powerful creature suddenly opened its eyes and roared heavenward, baring its teeth and claws, looking extremely terrifying. The number of these creatures was enormous, far exceeding the combined forces of the Profound Darkness sect and the Demon Suppression Army, and they continued to spawn. Roar! The creatures roared wildly, their bloody eyes and sharp claws revealing their terrifying aura, as if celebrating their own birth. Seeing the terrifying creatures roaring, both Profound Darkness sect martial artists and the Demon Suppression Army couldn't believe their eyes, looking at each other in disbelief. After the frenzied celebration, these creatures revealed their ferocious faces. Some charged towards the Profound Darkness sect and Demon Suppression Army martial artists, while others slaughtered and devoured each other. After a while, these creatures killed martial artists and absorbed their blood essence or swallowed their kind. Their bodies grew larger, and their aura became increasingly horrifying. What sort of creatures are these? They are terrifying. Seeing the ever-increasing number of monsters and their enhanced strength, Qing Ho revealed a solemn expression. At this point, he no longer cared about killing Profound Darkness sect martial artists, continuously striking at the endless stream of attacking monsters. These creatures didn't differentiate between friend or foe, attacking both the Demon Suppression Army, Profound Darkness sect martial artists, or even their own kind indiscriminately. This is the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array, a rune seed realm expert from the Profound Darkness sect had a drastic change in expression. He had heard of this array before. It was a powerful array from the 9 Nether Demon sect, requiring tens of thousands of martial artists' flesh and blood as sacrifices to be refined. Moreover, it needed an endless amount of evil chi and death chi to activate. Chapter 460. 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array under 2 at first. He had no guarantee in his heart. But after seeing these irrational, wildly murderous monsters, he finally made up his mind. My senior brothers, quickly flee. The Profound Darkness sect expert who discovered the array bellowed, charging at the dozen or so monsters that were killing towards him. Boom! With a smack of his palm, the monsters were shattered into pieces, turning into beams of blood light and black fog. But they quickly reassembled, forming new monsters. Damn, these monsters can't be killed. Hong Xingwu cursed loudly, feeling extremely stifled in the face of these weak monsters. They were endless and undying, causing even more trouble than peak rune seed realm opponents. Zhuang Ziyuan activated the Law River, creating a golden wall to shield a portion of the Demon Suppression Army within it. At the same time, his eyes flickered, showing thought as he gazed at the black order chains hanging from the void. 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array, a formation of the 9 Nether Demon sect. How did it appear here? Could it be that a master of the 9 Nether Demon sect has come to assist? Although he knew of the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array's existence, he didn't understand its full horror. However, its reputation was confirmed by its requirement of the sacrifice of tens of thousands of martial artists to get the array running, coupled with the silent plain serving as its excellent battlefield. Its power mustn't be underestimated. All of you, protect the demon extermination guards under your command. Lu Yun instructed Yi Xian and others. He knew that all he could do at this moment was to minimize casualties as much as possible. Otherwise, even if the profound darkness sect was utterly annihilated here, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. Moreover, if the demon suppression army suffered heavy casualties, the power of the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array would undoubtedly increase. By then, when the strength of the monsters in the array has reached a certain level, even the black rank or even earth rank demon extermination generals would not be able to preserve themselves. A sword strike flew out, cutting dozens of monsters in half. However, these creatures quickly reformed even with their limbs and heads severed. This is bad. Their strength is increasing too quickly. After a while, even we won't be a match for these monsters. Gu Yuan, Bailey E, and others were increasingly horrified as they battled the monsters. Some of the creatures, after continuously devouring the bodies of their kind, grew stronger rapidly. Even the yellow rank demon extermination generals gradually failed to resist them. Retreat from the battlefield first. Lu Yun immediately made the decision and issued an order to Yi Xian, Qing Ho, and others. But Yi Xian was just about to speak when he was silenced by Lu Yun's wave of his hand. Whatever happens, this general will shoulder it alone. Seeing Lu Yun speak in such a manner, Yi Xian, Qing Ho, and others stopped talking. They led the demon suppression army under their command, broke through the heavy encirclement of monsters, and dashed to the outside, aiming to leave the range of the large array. However, the great array almost covered the entire silent plain. The monsters were endless, and the more they killed, the greater their number and strength. What's more eerie was that after making a straight line for a certain distance, they strangely circled back to their starting point. Seeing this, Lu Yun immediately used Instant Horizon, trying to teleport away from here. However, just as the ripple in the space appeared, it was immediately extinguished. The space here seemed to be confined by some force, making it impossible for him to leave. Roar! A dozen giant monsters roared and charged at Lu Yun. Lu Yun swung his sky-brilliant sword, and the monsters in front of him directly burst apart. However, Lu Yun didn't feel the slightest bit of joy at this moment. "General, what should we do next?" Qing Ho asked Lu Yun anxiously. Now, they couldn't leave the array, and the strength of the surrounding monsters was increasing. The strongest of the monsters even had the combat power of the Golden Body Realm. If this continues, it wouldn't be long before monsters of the Rune Seed realm level would appear. Don't panic, you guys protect the others. I'm going to see if I can break this formation. Lu Yun flew into the sky, observing the situation around him. At this time, the sky was blanketed with black fog, endless and infinite, limiting vision to no more than a 10-mile radius. Soon, Lu Yun spotted Wei Zongqing and the others, immediately leading Yi Xian, Qing Ho, and others to join them. What's the current situation? Why have so many monsters suddenly appeared? Lu Yun asked. Bai Changfeng started. This is the array of the 9 nether demon sect, called the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array. Once activated, it's terrifying. Those outside cannot enter, and those inside cannot leave. Only by breaking the foundation of the array from the inside can we break this formation. Otherwise, we will all be trapped in here and die. Upon hearing this, Wei Zongqing panicked and roared. We need to act quickly, locate the foundation of the array, or my demon extermination guards won't hold out for long. Roar, roar, roar. Innumerable monsters flew over, causing several Golden Law rivers outside to tremble slightly. Monsters in the array continued to pop up unceasingly, seemingly impossible to kill. They could even continuously strengthen themselves. It looked like these golden barriers would not hold out for much longer. Zhuang Zijin released several runes to reinforce the golden barrier. My law river can't hold out for long. At most it can maintain for an hour. We must find the foundation of the array quickly. Otherwise, our far suppression legion will be doomed. Zhuang Ziyuan stated gravely. Bai Chongfeng nodded. If I'm not wrong, the foundation of the array mainly consists of the 16 blacklight pillars gushing out from the bottom of the Black Nether River. As long as we destroy them, the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death array will break. However, the monsters outside are becoming stronger, and they're more fearsome the closer they are to the blacklight pillars. We must send a group of powerful individuals to destroy them, otherwise it's a suicide mission. Upon hearing this, everyone's expressions turned bleak. At present, just the monsters rushing to kill them have reached the Golden Body realm. As time passed, these monsters would only become stronger. The closer they got to the blacklight pillars, the more fearsome the monsters became. Everyone here was a Earth-rank demon extermination general. The weakest among them possessed the strength of the Rune Seed realm. However, no one could guarantee that they could safely reach where the array's foundation located. Brother Bai, you are the strongest among us. Please make the decision. Seeing everyone fall silent, and the situation outside becoming more and more critical, Zhang Wenyin proposed. Seeing no objections, Bai Chongfeng cleared his throat and started. There are 12 black light pillars in total, signifying 12 array foundations. To ensure the destruction of the array foundation, we need at least 24 powerful individuals. Of course, to protect these weaker demon extermination guards, we also need to leave a sufficient number of strong individuals. Finishing, he turned towards Zhuang Ziyuan. Ziyuan's Law River can construct a golden barrier to suppress the monster's attack. You need to stay. Then he turned to the others. Those with power above the mid-stage of the Rune Seed realm stepped forward. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Instantly, over 30 bright lights shot out. Most of them were Earth-rank demon extermination generals. 2 were Martial Academy elders, and another was a rogue cultivator, Zhuochuye. Although he was still in the early stage of the Rune Seed realm, no one doubted his strength. Lu Yun, who was only at the peak of the Rune Seed realm, stood in midair. The aura he exuded suppressed most of the Earth-rank demon extermination generals around him. Bai Chongfeng glanced at everyone and turned his attention back to Zhang Wenyin. Brother Zhang Wenyin, please stay and help Zhuang Ziyuan protect the demon extermination guards. Okay. Zhang Wenyin nodded slightly. The destruction of the array foundation was crucial, but so was protecting the demon extermination guards. If the entire lower echelon of the Far Suppression Legion was wiped out, even if they managed to break the array, it would mean very little. Then, Bai Chongfeng selected 7 others to stay and fight the monsters alongside the remaining Earth-rank demon extermination generals, providing cover for the demon extermination guards. Wenyin Ziyuan, the safety of the Far Suppression Legion relies on you. Before departing, Bai Chongfeng gravely addressed the pair. Rest assured we will protect them. Zhang Wenyin and Zhuang Ziyuan solemnly nodded. Let's go. Bai Chongfeng, Lu Yun, and the other 24 powerhouses flew over the tall wall towards the Black Nether River. In the array, there was no sense of direction, but they could see the 12 blacklight pillars gushing out from the Black Nether River. Chapter 461. Suppressing the sect leader of Profound Darkness sect in the void above the Silent Plain, Wei Tianluan abruptly came to a halt, looking down at the surging large array rising below. A magnificent golden light flared in his eyes. An inexplicable wave emerged, the sight piercing through the shrouding black mist, landing on the monsters who were gradually forming bodies and consciousness. 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death array. You are ruthless, not sparing even the people of your own sect. Wei Tianlun's eyes were cold and austere. They are destined to die anyway. Rather than dying at the hands of the demon suppression army, it would be better to refine the 9 nether death and life array and let the entire demon suppression army join them in death. This is their rightful end. With that said, the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect had an indifferent look, observing the scene below. Wei Tianluan evaluated the cage below that was continuously churning with horrifying array power and said indifferently, "Indeed, all of you sect people should be wiped out completely to permanently resolve the internal strife of the human race." As he spoke, Wei Tianluan lowered his mind, and within his sea of consciousness the mists rolled, as a sword intent, vast like an abyss, rose from within, instantly breaking through the sea of consciousness, causing the void of thousands of miles to slightly tremble. The sword intent was overwhelming. His face was indifferent, and although he held no sword in his hand, his standing figure was as if it had transformed into a peerless divine weapon, radiating a terrifying sharpness, causing the surrounding void to shatter inch by inch. His right hand lightly swept in front of him, materializing a long sword made from laws, and numerous sword intent converged into it. In the next moment, the long sword chopped down, seeming capable of cutting through the heavens and earth, dividing yin and yang. It was as if it could shatter the heavens and earth altogether. The sword radiance was sharp, instantly surging infinitely, transforming into a vast river of sword chi crashing down. Looking at this scene, the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect remained indifferent, not worried that the opponent would be able to break the array. The 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array, as the unprecedented array of the 9 nether demon sect, possessed an extraordinary power. Once activated, it could not be destroyed from the outside unless a celestial human acted personally. Sure enough, the terrifying river of sword chi fell on the unprecedented array enveloping the silent plain, causing a surge of mist, but it had no substantial impact on it. Wei Tianlun's brow furrowed slightly, then his index finger stretched out, the golden light concealed within, containing endless power. "Star finger!" Wei Tianluan murmured lowly. The fingertip of the golden light quivered suddenly, and a golden star spewed out, drawing an eerie arc in the void, and then quickly enlarged, transforming into a huge falling star. Boom! The star finger fell on the large array below, sinking into the rolling black mist, turning into strands of profound light and disappearing. Wei Tianlun's expression stiffened slightly, his gaze tightly locked on the large array below. Then his eyes fell on the soaring black light pillar. If I'm not mistaken, the foundation of the array is those 12 black light pillars. As long as they are destroyed, the array will stop running on its own, Wei Tianluan said calmly. You're not wrong with your guess, but unfortunately the array, both inside and out, constitutes a whole unified body. And with the flooding evil chi as a guide, your attacks simply cannot land inside the array, and there's no way to discuss destroying the array's foundation. Immediately after, he further continued, the silent plain was originally an ancient battlefield, rich with evil chi and death chi. This time, tens of thousands of martial artists were used as bait, and the refined 9 nether mysterious killing array is incredibly fierce. It won't be long before everyone inside the array, including those at the peak of the rune seed realm, will perish within the array. Just as the words of the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect fell, a rumbling sound echoed through the sky, earth-shattering. Wei Tianluan was seen urging the azure, profound, demon-suppressing Ding, pressing down towards him. The terrifying force of suppression directly vibrated the void, tearing apart rifts after rifts. Ha, it seems you're getting desperate. The sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect let out a light laugh, his eyes instantly bursting with a touch of black gleam, and then his hands condensed a dark, profound light, bombarding towards the pressing, demon-suppressing Ding. Boom! The demon-suppressing Ding made a violent noise, releasing an incredibly massive counter-shock, while the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect also took advantage of the powerful counter-shock, flying straight backward, escaping from the suppressing range of the demon-suppressing ding. Moving a distance away, shifting to another part of the void, the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect lightly laughed and said, "Neither of us can decide the victor in a short time. Instead of wasting energy like this, it would be better to think of some ways to break the array. Perhaps you could even save one or two of the demon suppression army." Aft. The void was torn open abruptly, producing an opening. Suddenly, an invisible and terrifying attack came from behind. A huge black hammer broke out of the void, causing the space along its path to shatter. Bang! Bang! Layer upon layer of space was crushed and exploded, almost turning into a torrent of endless molecules. That's not good, a formidable enemy. Feeling the crisis from behind, the sect leader of the Profound Darkness sect went all out without reservation, his power surging to the extreme. Black Sky Prison. A black cage suddenly appeared in the deep space, radiating terrifying energy like a black hole. As the black hammer emulating endless power fell, this black cage continuously catapulted surges of powerful attraction, attempting to drag the falling black hammer into it. Simultaneously, outside the black cage, a series of black lotuses and seals bloomed, dissolving the terrifying power emitted by the black hammer. Humph! A cold snort abruptly sounded as a golden figure stepped out from the void, gripping the black hammer in one hand. The twinkling golden glow on it became even stronger, with more formidable power abruptly erupting. Chapter 462. Suppressing the sect leader of Profound Darkness sect, to crack. Like crushing dry wood, neat and clean. In an instant, the terrifyingly powerful hammer blasted through all obstacles, breaking open the black, prison-like cage standing tall in the void. The endless aftermath rolled to both sides, an extreme edge bursting out from the cracks, landing on the Profound Darkness sect leader. Boom! The Profound Darkness sect leader retreated through the void, causing layers of ripples. Stars in the palm. Wei Tianluan wouldn't miss this excellent opportunity. Immediately shouting and thunderous explosions sounded. A vast swath of golden light bloomed from the palms of his hands. The golden light was dazzling, making people's eyes ache. It transformed into a huge, boundlessly vast palm. Within the golden giant palm, runes flickered, light circulated, patterns intertwined, an overwhelming atmosphere connected, revealing a breathtaking mystery. With a rumble, the heavens and the earth trembled. 5 golden giant fingers extended out, each with runes surrounding them, the golden core's power flowing. Amidst the endless mist and stars, it appeared like 5 sky-supporting pillars, immensely thick. In the blink of an eye, the Profound Darkness sect leader was submerged in the golden giant palm. Within the palm, stars fell, spreading their vast power and giving rise to endless mist. The stars in the mist, one after another, exploded with starlight, rumbling and rotating. The power of the stars intertwined, exuding a terrifying pressure. As long as we slay you, we can unite the power of the 2 Golden Core Realm Peak experts to break the array. Wei Tianlun's eyes were filled with an ultimate coldness as he clenched his 5 fingers, trapping the Profound Darkness sect leader within. Then, with a wave of his sleeve, the azure Profound Demon-suppressing ding, which suppressed the space and time on one side, rumbled as it rotated and descended from the sky, suppressing the briefly trapped Profound Darkness sect leader within the divine ability. Golden Core Realm Peak? Wasn't Tung Qingshan held back by the Dragon Tiger Mountain's celestial master Zhang Denyang? Why has another Golden Core Realm Peak expert appeared? In the eyes of the Profound Darkness sect leader, the black profound light was flickering madly, his heart almost on the verge of breaking. Tung Qingshan and the Blue Blade Legion were indeed entangled by Dragon Tiger Mountain's power, but there are countless experts in my demon suppression army. Temporarily mobilizing the power of a golden core realm peak expert is not difficult. Wei Tianluan emitted several golden lights in a row, landing on the azure profound demon-suppressing ding to increase its suppressive power. When he was sure that the profound darkness sect leader could not escape, he finally raised his eyelids and looked at the golden figure standing tall in the void. Brother Qingshan, thank you for your help this time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to trap him with my strength alone. Brother Tianluan, you're welcome. The army commander sent me here to help you exterminate the profound darkness sect, thereby leaving the profound darkness domain battlefield to assist the main battlefield. Fu Qingshan said indifferently. However, the Far Suppression Legion is currently sealed in the array, and we cannot break it in time. The Legion's losses will be heavy. Brother Tianluan, do you have any countermeasures? Wei Tianluan said, 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array. It's almost impossible to break it from the outside. But if we gather the power of several peak golden core realm experts, we should be able to try and break the array. Good. Let's join forces to kill the profound darkness sect leader first, and then break the array together. With that, Tang Qingshan put away the hammer, his right hand stretching across space. His 5 fingers became sharp swords, stabbing at the profound darkness sect leader's chest. Crack, crack, crack. The sword touched the profound darkness sect leader's chest, but it was repelled by the black profound light enveloping his body. Humph, even if you've managed to suppress me by ambushing, what can you do to me? Despite bearing the suppressive force of the azure profound demon, suppressing Ding, the profound darkness sect leader still had the energy to resist the attack of another golden core realm peak expert. It had to be said that his power was truly outrageous. Don't be presumptuous. Wei Tianluan let out a cold shout before firing another golden light to strike the ding. Immediately within the ding, raging flames rose like magma surging, enveloping the profound darkness sect leader. The raging fire burned, and the terrifying pressure swept from all directions, consuming the power of the profound darkness sect leader madly. Once again, Fu Qingshan's hand reached out, crossing layers of space with a profound force, rumbling as it slammed into the profound darkness sect leader's body. Within the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array, Lu Yun and others quickly approached the Black Nether River. The closer they got to the Black Nether River, the more terrifying the power of the monsters they encountered. The strength of these monsters is almost close to the peak golden body realm. Looking at the 5 monsters quickly approaching, Lu Yun was secretly shocked. At this moment, there was still some distance from the black light pillar, and they had already encountered such powerful monsters, causing Lu Yun to not have much confidence in breaking the foundation of the array. But at this point, the arrow was on the bowstring and must be fired. Half a quarter of an hour later, under the immense pressure, Lu Yun and the others finally fought their way to the edge of the Black Nether River. The Black Nether River had been cut off, but there was still a lot of water in the original riverbed. Bubbles were gurgling on the surface of the water. Thick black mist condensed. Monsters were born one after another, and then they devoured each other, strengthening themselves. When the monstrous creatures sensed the approach of Lu Yun and the others, they began to roar in anger. Everyone in the field was at least at the middle stage of the Rune Seed realm, and these monsters were no match for them, so they were quickly eliminated. However, after the monsters were killed, they quickly condensed again, and monsters from other directions also kept coming, causing everyone to be quickly surrounded by the army of monsters. Bai Changfeng unleashed a powerful attack, blasting the monsters that were surrounding them and tearing open a gap. Everybody, time is running out. 2 people form a team and act separately. As soon as the words were spoken, Bai Changfeng took an Earth-rank demon extermination general with him and rushed out through the gap that had been torn open earlier. Brother Hong, let's team up. The 13th Army's Earth-rank demon extermination, General Yang Xingan and Hong Xingwu, left together. The other demon extermination generals and rune seed realm cultivators also teamed up in pairs, each heading towards a black light pillar. As for Lu Yin, he temporarily formed a small team with Wei Zongqing. After killing countless blocking monsters along the way, they quickly arrived near a black light pillar. At this point, the strongest monsters here had already reached the level of the rune seed realm. 1 or 2 rune seed realm monsters would be very easy for any one of them to deal with. However, if there were more than a dozen monsters of the strength and dozens or hundreds of gold body realm peak monsters. Moreover, this number was still increasing far and fast. The situation would be different. Lu Yun immediately made a decision. Brother Wei, I'll handle these monsters. You are responsible for breaking the foundation of the array. All right, Brother Lu, just hold on for a little longer. Wei Zongqing knew very well in his heart that at this point they needed someone to deal with the monsters. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be able to get close to the black light pillar, let alone break it. However, with his strength, it might be difficult for him to hold back these monsters. White lotus flame. A burst of fire suddenly erupted from Lu Yun's palm, condensing into a white lotus seat and swirling towards the huge group of monsters. Boom! As the white lotus bloomed and the sea of fire exploded, countless monsters were burned to ashes, turning into black mist and being annihilated in the fire. Unexpectedly, the destroyed monsters didn't recondense this time, as if they had completely vanished. White lotus flame is the nemesis of these monsters. Noticing this, Lu Yun's eyes lit up, and he began to wave his hands, sending countless white lotus seeds flying into the crowds of monsters pouring in from all directions. Boom, boom, boom. The vast sea of fire bloomed, releasing destructive and purifying power, burning the monsters in it to ashes. With Lu Yun's interference, Wei Zongqing finally managed to get in front of the towering black light pillar. He unleashed a powerful attack, continuously pounding on the black light pillar. The black light pillar was the foundation of the array. Only by destroying all of it could the array be broken. However, there was a thick layer of black mist surrounding the black light pillar. This black mist was extremely dense, almost solidifying into a wall of black fog. Wei Zongqing's attacks fell on it, but were actually diluted and absorbed by the black mist, unable to reach the core inside. I won't believe this. Wei Zongqing's face turned serious. The black mountain seal flew out from his palm, transforming into a huge black mountain surrounded by terrifying black thunder. Break it for me. With a fierce shout, the black mountain seal heavily slammed into the black light pillar. Chapter 463. The Method to Break the Formation Boom. Crash. Black mountain seal hit heavily on the black light pillar. It slightly shuddered, but it was not damaged. The condensed black fog absorbed and dissolved the powerful impact. This 9-nether mysterious killing array is very strong. Wei Zongqing was secretly alarmed. His full-powered black mountain seal contained a very powerful force, capable of bombing a 1,000-meter mountain, but he couldn't break through the black fog-shrouded light pillar. He urged the black mountain seal again for another heavy strike. The black fog surged like dancing dragons and snakes, but the black light pillar stood unshaken. However, Wei Zongqing's eyes narrowed as he saw that due to the black silence, profound thunder on the black mountain seal, the black fog showed signs of dispersing. Wei Zongqing struck several more times before muttering inwardly, "Is the power of thunder the nemesis of this black fog?" Boom! With the relentless bombardment of black silence, profound thunder, the black fog surrounding the black light pillar gradually began to thin out. But nearby, more black fog was rapidly gathering, quickly filling the void left by the black fog eroded by the black silence, profound thunder. At this moment, Lu Yun cleared almost all the surrounding monsters with his powerful white lotus flame and rushed over after noticing that Wei Zongqing hadn't been making much progress. Wei Zongqing, let me assist you. Upon hearing this, Wei Zongqing felt relieved and promptly replied, Brother Lu, this thunder power is the nemesis of these black fogs. Although the black silence, profound thunder driven by the black mountain seal has immense power, the consumption is quite large, and I am finding it difficult to sustain. I could use your help. Besides thunder power, fire power can also vanquish these black fogs. As Lu Yun spoke, a firelight blazed in his hand. The light solidified into a giant lotus seat and whirled towards the black light pillar. Boom! Crash! The explosion of the white lotus flame formed a sea of flames, annihilating the dense black fog at a speed visible to the naked eye. So powerful! Seeing how effective Lu Yun's attack was once unleashed, Wei Zongqing couldn't help but admire his strength. Although Wei Zongqing could destroy these black fogs with the black silence, profound thunder attached to his black mountain seal, he was nowhere near as destructive as Lu Yun. Still lacking something. Lu Yun ascended into the sky, holding the thunder hammer in one hand and controlling the white flame lotus seat with the other, chopping heavily at the black light pillar. Boom! The condensed black fog was suddenly blasted apart, allowing the powerful thunder power and flame power to pour in. Buzz! The towering black light pillar began to collapse. Spotting this, Wei Zongqing's eyes lit up and he shouted, Brother Lu, give it another push. We're about to succeed. Roar! At this point, monsters from elsewhere had arrived. Noticing Lu Yun and others were ruthlessly destroying the black light pillar, they all let out raging roars, rushing crazily towards Lu Yun and Wei Zongqing. These beasts are very strong. I can only hold them off for a dozen breaths. Brother Lu, make the best use of your time. Enough. Lu Yun replied, his blood surged. An intensity of the white lotus flame surged. Then, an even stronger white lotus flame emerged from his hand and poured violently into the black light pillar. Whoosh, whoosh. The powerful flames formed a wave that flooded the black light pillar and seeped into the bottom of the black nether river. Then something amazing happened. The black fog on the surface of the black light pillar began to dissolve, and the number of monsters gathering around it began to dwindle. Wei Zongqing glanced at Lu Yun with surprise. He could feel the high temperature and strong threat emitting from Lu Yun's flames. This spiritual fire must not be lower than the 7th grade. Although he had no fire seed, he had basic knowledge of the celestial spiritual fire. Such a grade of firepower is rarely mastered even among the 7th grade alchemists. Lu Yun, seeing the black fog disperse and the towering black light pillar starting to waver, ramped up the release of the flames, continuously destroying the foundation of the black light pillar. Boom! Crash! The black light pillar shuddered and collapsed. The profound light dispersed, the black fog retreated, and a massive hole was blasted in the black nether river. Lu Yun entered the river hole and spotted a faint, glowing array beneath. Whoa, whoa! As Lu Yun appeared outside the array, 3 black shadows materialized, emanating potent evil qi, and hurled themselves at Lu Yun. Thunder surged around Lu Yun, forming 3 thunder dragons, which blasted at the 3 black shadows. Bang, bang, bang. With the intense collision, the 3 shadows were blown away, revealing their true forms. They were like the monsters outside, but with larger bodies and more formidable aura. Indeed, they were close to the late stage of the rune seed realm. Ordinary people couldn't tackle such powerful beasts. Roar! The 3 monsters launched a ferocious attack on Lu Yun. The heavy black shadows gave off evil qi like a chilly wind, chilling to the bone. Unfortunately, this level of coldness posed no significant threat to Lu Yun, who had condensed his gold body using the pure yang strong origin. Lu Yun released 3 white fire lotus seeds, which bombarded the monsters. However, This level of flame could only repel the beasts, but couldn't destroy them in a short period. Is my power not enough? So, Lu Yun immediately opened the panel and began to enhance the white lotus flame. After consuming 500,000 energy points, the power of the white lotus flame noticeably advanced to 51% of the 7th rank. The amplified white lotus flame increased several times in might, and the 3 monsters wrapped in an ocean of white fire couldn't resist for long. They turned into dense black fog and eventually vanished completely. With the monsters no longer guarding, Lu Yin went straight to the array and spurred the white lotus flame for a violent bombardment. Once the array was destroyed, the towering black beam immediately dissipated. The monsters here have disappeared. It seems Lu Yin was successful. Wei Zongqing breathed deeply in relief. If Lu Yin had been a step slower, he wouldn't be able to withstand the monster's siege. As soon as Lu Yin flew out of the water cavern, he spoke, "There are powerful monsters guarding the array below, and it won't be easy for others to destroy it. We must hurry to assist them. There are even more powerful monsters inside." Wei Zongqing was completely dumbfounded. If the monsters outside were already so difficult to deal with, the thought of even more powerful ones inside was unimaginable. Knowing this, he didn't dare to dally and immediately followed Lu Yin towards the next blacklight pillar. All the way, Lu Yin paved the path with flames, eradicating countless monsters within the powerful fire. Wei Zongqing noticed that the spiritual fire controlled by Lu Yin seemed to have become much stronger, but he was tactful enough not to inquire further. Everyone has their own secrets, including himself. Swiftly, the two reached the next black beam. Lu Yin and Wei Zongqing are here. The Earth-rank demon extermination generals Su Jiao and Jiang Han were overjoyed. They had been at this location for a while, but they were always unable to do anything with this black beam. Now that Lu Yin and Wei Zongqing had come as reinforcements, they breathed a sigh of relief. The black silence, profound thunder, and white lotus flame simultaneously blasted the towering black pillar, and the black fog that filled the outside quickly faded, gradually blasting a gap in the black pillar. That's simple. Su Jiao and Jiang Han, upon witnessing this, exchanged confused looks, somewhat in disbelief. The two of them were not weak, especially Jiang Han, who was in the late stage of the rune seed realm. However, they were unable to do anything about the black beam. Now, Lu Yun and Wei Zongqing went into action, and they started to see results immediately. This caused shock in their hearts. In response to their queries, Wei Zongqing explained, "Flame and thunder power are the nemesis of these black fog, otherwise it would be very difficult to break through them." Upon hearing this, Su Jiao and Jiang Han realized that these black fog were condensed from evil qi and death qi. The things that evil qi and death qi feared most were rigid and robust yang forces, and the attributes of thunder and fire were exactly their nemesis. Roar. More and more monsters gathered, their roars of wrath shaking the heavens and the earth, encircling the four tightly. "You guys deal with the monsters. Leave the rest to me," Lu Yun instructed, and then, with a thunderous hammer and strong white lotus flame, rushed toward the black pillar. Rumble. The black, dense fog dispersed, and a vast water hole appeared before their eyes. Lu Yun plunged into the water hole. What came into view was still that array emitting faint light. Before Lu Yun could approach, 3 powerful monsters charged over. The 3 monsters' strength became even stronger, nearly approaching the late stage of the rune seed realm. However, unless their strength truly advanced to the late stage of the rune seed realm, they would not be able to resist the white lotus flame for long. Just a few moments later, the 3 powerful monsters were obliterated by the white lotus flame, and the array inside was also destroyed by Lu Yin. The second black pillar disappeared, along with the evil qi and death qi clinging to the site. "Lu Yin, well done." After Lu Yin came out of the waterhole, Jiang Han and Su Jiao gave him thumbs up, praising him with smiles. We must break the arrays under these black pillars to completely resolve the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array. We need to hurry. Lu Yin led the 3 and quickly moved upstream along the black nether river. Downstream were by Changfeng, Hong Xingwu, and others. With their strength, breaking the black pillar and eliminating the array guarding monsters shouldn't be too hard. The ones heading upstream, however, were weaker. Just as Lu Yin, along with Wei Zongqing and others, arrived at the next black pillar, there came a rumbling sound from behind. A black pillar that pierced the sky began to collapse. Then, another black pillar collapsed. We've only destroyed 4 arrays now. We need to speed up. Lu Yun thought, knowing that as time passed, not only were the monsters outside becoming stronger, but the monsters guarding inside the array were also becoming even more terrifying. After another half hour, Lu Yun destroyed the array and shot out from the waterhole. His gaze quickly swept across the sky and saw there were still 5 black pillars undestroyed. And now the agreed half hour was getting closer and closer. Lu Yin looked at Wei Zongqing and said, "We're running out of time. We have to split up and help the others." Wei Zongqing and the others did not have objections. They then split into 2 groups, turning into streaks of rainbow light before rushing towards their next targets. On the way, Lu Yun noticed that although the number of congregated monsters was decreasing, the ones left were becoming stronger due to earlier fights and consumption. Even before they reached the vicinity of the black beam, monsters as powerful as those at the Rune Seed realm level had already appeared. As time went on, the monsters would continue to escalate in strength through incessant fighting and consumption. Chapter 464. Profound Darkness Sect Leaders Defeat and Breaking Out of the Formation After the 9 Nether Mysterious Killing Array was activated. The strong members of the Profound Darkness Sect knew what had happened, and knew they had been abandoned. The one who abandoned them was none other than their highly respected sect leader. I never thought that after dedicating my life to the Profound Darkness Sect, I'd end up like this. It's too hard to accept. Under the siege of over a dozen monstrous beasts, a gold body realm steward was completely engulfed in dense evil chi. I regret joining the Profound Darkness Sect in this life, and vow not to become a sect member in my next life. With a terrifying explosion of power, a Rune Seed realm powerhouse of the Profound Darkness Sect let out their final words before dying in their self-detonation. Elder Dongfang. The other Profound Darkness Sect disciples who were fighting the monster's death. Their faces changed dramatically after witnessing this scene. They wanted to come forward and stop it, but had no strength left to do so. Looking around the field, there were only about a dozen Rune Seed realm members left from the Profound Darkness Sect, and each of them was fighting fiercely against powerful monsters to protect the younger generation of their sect. As they watched a Rune Seed realm elder self-detonate, the Profound Darkness Sect disciples felt their spirits sink completely. Death was not terrifying, but once the convictions and faith in one's heart collapsed, everything lost its meaning. On the other side, the situation for the Demon Suppression Army was not much better. Even if Zhuang Ziyuan's Law River was blocking many monsters, it couldn't hold out for much longer. Finally, a gap was torn open in the golden wall formed by the Law River, and powerful monsters charged in with their teeth and claws bared. After a fierce battle, the weak died while the strong survived. The weakest monsters that survived were much stronger than transforming Origin realm martial artists. And among the Demon Suppression Army, those weak Demon Extermination Guards simply couldn't stop them. Just in one charge, hundreds of Demon Extermination Guards were killed by the monsters that burst in. When will they be able to break the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array? I can't hold out much longer. Zhuang Ziyuan, watching the unending stream of monsters rushing in from outside, felt his scalp go numb. Maintaining the golden wall formed by the Law River consumed a great deal of his energy. He could only hold out for around 18 breaths at most. After those 18 breaths, all the monsters would surge forward. At that time, the destruction of the Far Suppression Legion would be imminent. He could only hope that Lu Yun and the others would be able to dismantle the array and return to their aid in time. In the high-altitude battlefield, a fierce battle was raging. Master Chang Kong and Ling Hu Dao were fighting together against the two elders of profound darkness, unable to offer any aid to the trapped Far Suppression Legion. In fact, the two elders of profound darkness also wanted to end the battle and deal with their comrades from the profound darkness sect who were trapped in the array. However, they knew that once the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array was activated, it would require at least the power of a heavenly human realm to break it from the outside. Not to mention that they couldn't do it. Even the sect leader who activated the array couldn't do it. At this moment, a terrifying backlash erupted from the deepest part of the void. Then, in the shocked gaze of several Golden Core realm powerhouses, a boundless golden rain of light fell from the sky. That's the fall of a Golden Core realm powerhouse. The two elders of profound darkness, Ling Hu Dao and Master Chang Kong, all looked up to see the sect leader of the profound darkness sect's body explode, and the condensed laws and golden core essence transformed into countless meteoric light rains that filled the sky. Not good. The sect leader has fallen. We have no chance. Flee quickly. Seeing the sect leaders fall, the two elders of profound darkness' faces changed, and they immediately fled without thinking. The sect leader of the profound darkness sect, a peak golden core realm powerhouse, had fallen. They could imagine how terrifying his opponent was without even thinking. At this moment, a terrifying suppression force crashed down from the void, causing the fleeing souls of the two elders of profound darkness to nearly evaporate with fear. However, after all, they were golden core realm mid-stage powerhouses and not so easily suppressed. With a full burst of strength, they managed to free themselves from the suppression and continued their escape. But then a massive, overwhelming hand seemed to have anticipated their escape route and suddenly compressed them down without warning. Another golden core realm peak powerhouse. As they were suddenly caught by that giant hand, the two elders of profound darkness felt like they were being wrapped up in endless mountains and rivers, unable to escape. At this point, they finally realized that a second Golden Core Realm Peak powerhouse had appeared on the battlefield. At the same time, they finally understood why their sect leader had fallen so quickly. That's mountains and rivers in the palm. Fu Qingshan, Ling Hu Dao, who had been upset about the escape of the two elders of profound darkness, couldn't help but show excitement on his face when he saw this scene. Mountains and rivers in the palm, like Wei Tianlun stars in the palm, were both top-tier golden core divine abilities. He immediately recognized it once he saw this divine ability. Under their watchful eyes, the two elders of profound darkness were trapped by the mountains and rivers in the palm, and the giant hand suddenly contracted. And then the two elders of profound darkness, these mid-stage golden core realm powerhouses, the supreme elders of the profound darkness sect, had their bodies burst apart. As their bodies shattered, their divine souls tried to escape, fleeing towards the distance. But before they could get far, they saw a huge ache-colored cauldron fall, and the two divine souls vanished in an instant. After the fall of the two elders of profound darkness, Fu Qingshan and Wei Tianluan quietly appeared in the sky. General Fu, General Wei. Seeing the two, they felt a sense of relief in their hearts. Fu Qingshan and Wei Tianluan both possessed peak golden core realm strength, and combined with those two mid-stage golden core realm powerhouses, they had the chance to forcefully break the array from the outside, dealing with the hundreds of thousands of troops in the Far Suppression Legion. There's still one more golden core realm powerhouse from the profound darkness sect. Kill him first before discussing further. Fu Qingshan glanced at the one fighting fiercely with Duge Yuan, a Golden Core realm martial artist from the Profound Darkness sect. He stretched out his hand, and a fierce wind arose, causing a golden giant hand to emerge from the void. Its 5 fingers were like colossal mountain peaks, and the lines in its palm resembled intersecting mountain ranges, crashing down thunderously. Retreat! The Golden Core realm powerhouse of the Profound Darkness sect, Chang Fei, sensed a strong crisis and chose to retreat right away. However, Fu Qingshan's displayed strength was too overwhelming, and all his Golden Core realm companions had perished in battle, leaving only the weakest him who couldn't contend with the opponent at all. Even so, the current situation wasn't one where he could easily retreat. Not to mention Duge Yuan, whose strength was not weaker than his and who didn't let him go. There were also 2 mid-Golden Core realm and the unfathomably powerful Wei Tianluan who were watching him closely. Moreover, he couldn't even escape from this palm that pierced the void and suppressed the heavens and earth. Mountains and rivers in the palm, when used against martial artists with lesser strength, was an utterly lethal blow. Rumble. A vast expanse of the sky was engulfed, and the sealing power combined, leaving Chang Fei with no way to fly out. The destructive fluctuations erupted, causing the void to tremble slightly and making Chang Fei's protective golden light completely shatter, followed by cracking noises from his physical body. After not resisting for long, both his flesh and divine soul ultimately didn't survive under this force. As soon as the divine ability dissipated and he saw the law and the Golden Core turn into a rain of light, scattering and completely collapsing in the mountains and rivers in the palm, Linghu Dao couldn't help but shiver in his heart. Chang Fei, who had fought him for such a long time, didn't even last one round in Fu Qingshan's hands. However, after slaughtering the 2 elders of Profound Darkness and the early Golden Core realm Chang Fei in succession, a trace of cold sweat appeared on Fu Qingshan's face. Outwardly, he didn't show anything, but in fact, consecutively using mountains and rivers in the palm several times to kill 3 Golden Core realm experts, even for him, had caused quite a substantial consumption. After all, divine abilities were indeed powerful, but their consumption was extremely terrifying. If they didn't use divine abilities, it wouldn't be easy to keep Golden Core realm experts from escaping. Only Wei Tianluan knew about this. Duge Yuan, Master Changkong, and Linghu Dao were unaware of the inside story. The 3 of them knew nothing about the subtleties of Golden Core's divine abilities, and only saw Fu Qingshan effortlessly slaughter the 2 elders of Profound Darkness and Chang Fei, who had been fighting fiercely with them for quite a while. The Far Suppression Legion was Wei Tianlun's painstaking effort, and he had put so much energy into it. If the damage was too severe, it would have a significant impact on him. Seeing Fu Qingshan making a slight recovery, Wei Tianluan promptly said, "All right, let's hurry up and break the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array. We've lost too much time. I'm afraid they won't be able to hold on much longer." All right. Fu Qingshan, Linghu Dao, Master Changkong, and Duge Yuan nodded, and then they flew downward and landed above the black light curtain. To break the large array, the power of the heavenly human realm is required. Therefore, our 5 attacks must be combined and strike at one point. Brother Wei, you just tell us where to hit, and we'll follow your command, Fu Qingshan said after slight recuperation, his vitality and spirit restored to their peak. Wei Tianlun's gaze fell on the center of the black light curtain, analyzing, regarding the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array. I have some knowledge about it. If we want to break it from the outside, other than possessing the power of the heavenly human realm, we also need to strike its weak points. The weak point of the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array is right at the central position. This is where the death chi and evil chi are the most concentrated, so our power can play its greatest effect here. All right, let's start right away. Once they finished speaking, the 5 of them simultaneously gathered powerful attacks and bombarded the array that enveloped the sky above the black silence plain. Rumble. The destructive power exploded, shaking the heavens and earth. 2 peak Golden Core Realm experts, 2 mid-Golden Core Realm experts, and 1 early Golden Core Realm expert unleashed their attacks together. The resulting power was almost on the verge of breaking the Golden Core Realm's limit, comparable to the power of an early heavenly human realm expert. Such a formidable attack fell on the black light curtain, causing the void within tens of thousands of miles to be violently shaken in an instant. However, the black light curtain was not broken open. It didn't work. Fu Qingshan's eyes narrowed slightly as the other people's faces darkened as well. The burst of power just now was almost their strongest. Yet it still couldn't break the array. They didn't need to think to know the fate of the Far Suppression Legion inside. Wei Tianlun's confidence was severely impacted, but he was not prepared to give up. This was an entire legion, a demon suppression army of hundreds of thousands. If they all perished here, he would never have a chance to enter the heavenly human realm in his lifetime. Moreover, there were many brothers who had been following him in battles for years inside. Under no circumstances could he give up on them. "Let's try again," Wei Tianlun said solemnly. "All right, but let's recover for a while first and let our energy and spirits return to their peak before we proceed." After a dozen or so breaths, their condition was restored. Just as they were about to unleash another powerful attack, a sudden change occurred. The black light curtain that enveloped the sky above the silent plain suddenly trembled violently. Then, as if something had broken it open from below, a crack was revealed. A dazzling radiance suddenly burst forth from the crack, soaring into the sky. This beam of light contained an extreme scorching aura, devouring the death chi and evil chi that enveloped the void. The array is broken. Chapter 465. Martial Arts Will. First arrival to the battlefield Wei Tianlun. Fu Qingshan, Ling Hudao, and other Golden Core Realm experts saw the black screen at their feet being destroyed by a blazing light, which indicated that the Great Formation had already been broken from within by others. Immediately after, they saw huge, terrifying monsters roaring to the sky, fighting each other and enhancing their own strength. Although the formation was destroyed, and the monsters would not continue to spawn nor regain their ability to regenerate. However, before this, the operation of the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array had spawned countless monsters, and through continuous fighting, many Rune Seed Realm-level monsters had already been born. And the Golden Wall constructed by Wei Zongcheng's Law River was completely shattered by the tide of countless monsters. Since they have broken the formation, it's up to us to handle the situation from here. 5 Golden Core Realm experts took action, 2 of whom possessed peak Golden Core Realm battle power. No matter how many monsters there were, or how strong they were, they couldn't cause any trouble. Golden runes descended from the sky, dispelling countless evil chi and death chi in their path. The monsters, with their claws and fangs bared, had no resistance to the golden light. Their flesh quickly disintegrated once surrounded by the light, turning into black mists that disappeared above the silent plain. After breaking the last array, Lu Yun and others saw the black light screen covering the silent plain shatter with a loud boom, and 5 figures shrouded in golden light and emanating powerful auras descended. With the Golden Core Realm experts taking action, the Far Suppression Legion is saved. At this moment, whether it was Lu Yun and others responsible for breaking the formation, or Zhang Wenyin, Zhuang Ziyuan, and other defenders, they all breathed a sigh of relief. Although they had broken the formation, it didn't mean the danger was over. Facing the unprecedentedly large-scale monsters whose strength had quickly risen, the consequences would be severe if the Far Suppression Legion faced them. However, with the heavenly level demon, extermination, general, and Golden Core Realm experts taking action, these monsters were no longer a threat. Several hours later, the last monster on the silent plain fell. From then on, the evil chi and death chi that had lingered in the sky of the silent plain for hundreds of years were dispelled, and the area regained its clear and refreshing appearance. As the Black Nether River was cut off, The vast river flooded the entire silent plain, turning it into a vast, swampy land. Standing on the battleship and looking down at the endless ocean beneath them, Wei Zongqing repeatedly sighed, saying, "It's a shame that some remnants of the profound darkness sect escaped." The 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array had been secretly arranged by the sect leader of the profound darkness sect. They had painstakingly broken the array and killed the remaining monsters, only to inadvertently save several remnants of the profound darkness sect, which made him extremely annoyed. Hong Xingwu shook his head and said, "Our losses in the Far Suppression Legion are not too great. That's the biggest relief. As for a few remnants, it doesn't really matter." The activation of the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array prevented them from continuing their battle against the profound darkness sect, forcing them to focus on self-preservation and finding a way to break the array. Eventually, they broke the array, but the rapidly enlarging monsters not only greatly outnumbered the Far Suppression Legion, but also possessed weaker, top-tier battle power. Even with the addition of the 5 Golden Core Realm experts, they fought for several hours before finally eliminating all the monsters. During this period, they had no time to pay attention to the remnants of the profound darkness sect. However, considering how long they had been in the 9 nether profound slaughter life and death array without strong protection, there probably wouldn't be too many remnants left in the end. At this moment, 5 dazzling lights quickly descended, emanating formidable pressure and hovering in the sky like divine residences. Lu Yun observed them carefully and found that he had never seen one of them before. Noticing Lu Yun's confusion, Zhuang Ziyuan explained with a smile, "This person is Fu Qingshan, who, along with Tun Qingshan of the Blue Blade Legion, is known as one of the 2 Qingshans in the demon-suppressing army, both with the potential to advance to the heavenly human realm. So, this person is also a peak Golden Core Realm expert." "Yes, and he has been in the peak Golden Core Realm for many years. If the opportunity arises, it's not impossible for him to step directly into the heavenly human realm and become the 8th heavenly human realm expert and the 7th vice commander of our demon-suppressing army." Upon hearing this, Lu Yun nodded slightly and no longer paid attention to the other person. Just because someone has the potential to become a heavenly human realm expert doesn't mean they will definitely become one. Becoming a heavenly human realm expert is not that simple. Otherwise, the demon-suppressing army wouldn't have only 7 heavenly human realm experts to this day. 3 days later, the combined forces of the Far Suppression Legion and the Blue Blade Legion completely eliminated the remnants of Dragon Tiger Mountain's forces. Zhang Danyang, the celestial master of Dragon Tiger Mountain, fell after a day and night of fierce battle against 3 peak Golden Core Realm experts. With the fall of the Dragon Tiger Mountain celestial master, the nearly 2-month-long battle in the profound darkness domain finally came to an end. After this battle, both the Far Suppression Legion and the Blue Blade Legion suffered heavy losses, especially the Far Suppression Legion, which faced the forces of the Profound Darkness Sect and the 9 Nether Profound Slaughter Life and Death Array, suffering countless casualties and now only had a little over 200,000 left. There was no helping it. Wars always resulted in casualties. As long as the 100 Sect War wasn't completely over, the number of casualties would continue to rise. The Blue Blade Legion and the Far Suppression Legion each left a demon suppression army behind, responsible for guarding and receiving the profound darkness domain, and then began to head towards the Scarlet Moon demon domain. The battleship broke through the sky and had already left the scope of the profound darkness domain. Chapter 466, Martial Arts Will, First Arrival to the Battlefield. There were still a few days left before reaching the Scarlet Moon demon domain, and Lu Yin didn't waste any time, continuing his seclusion to cultivate. In a short period of time, he couldn't condense rune seeds, so he couldn't transform his combat power. But he could continuously increase the number of law runes, enhance his own limits, and lay the groundwork for entering the rune seed realm in the future. While Lu Yun was in seclusion, The speed of the battleship did not decrease in the slightest and traveled at an extremely fast speed through the void. He had no idea how much time had passed. Suddenly, there were waves of fluctuations in the calm void ahead, as if a terrifying entity was engaging in battle there. Senzum, the powerful fluctuations coming from the void, the already heavy-hearted demon suppression army on the ship became even more grim. They were almost there. The fluctuations ahead were clearly caused by the clash between the demon suppression army and the Red Moon Demon Sect's powerful warriors. At this time, the actual battlefield was still very far away, perhaps tens of thousands of miles or even hundreds of thousands of miles away. However, even with such a distance, the fluctuations still felt incredibly intense and shocking. From this, one could see just how terrifying the level of that battle had reached. The Scarlet Moon Demon Domain will be reached soon, and I won't repeat myself on how dangerous the upcoming battle will be. Everyone should be mentally prepared. Ling Hu Dao suddenly spoke. Hearing this, the faces of all the demon extermination generals were firm. They clearly understood the enemies they would face next and were well aware of the dangers of this battlefield. This was unlike the previous White Lotus sect battlefield and the Profound Darkness domain battlefield. The Red Moon Demon sect was already extremely powerful, with celestial humans stationed there. After the addition of the 9 Nether Demon sect, their strength had grown even more. As a result, the upcoming Scarlet Moon Demon domain battlefield would be a truly unparalleled battlefield. Despite this, they still had no intention of backing down. The Demon Suppression Army had always been invincible in their will and invulnerable in their offense. As demon extermination generals within the Demon Suppression Army, they had experienced countless life-and-death battles, and they had long been as sturdy as steel. As if sensing the will of his comrades on the battleship, Lu Yun's spirit also became more determined. Inside his body, the powerful pure yang strong origin and those diamond-shaped runes emitting powerful law aura intertwined above his yuan hai. Although he hadn't condensed the rune seeds yet, the sheer number of those dense runes emitting brilliant golden light was shocking. 150 runes. He had never heard of anyone reaching such a level of law, runes accumulation at the Golden Body Realm. And 150 runes weren't Lu Yun's limit. As the battleship continued to advance, the fluctuations from the void grew stronger and stronger. Indistinctly, the entire void seemed like a vast sea with its surface constantly fluctuating due to the battle. The battleship appeared to be sailing through a vast void ocean, affected by the ripples and swinging up and down. Looking ahead, it seemed to have no end, but the sense of horror in his heart was growing more intense. Lu Yun clenched his fists tightly, his mind immersed in the panel. Name, Lu Yun Affiliation. Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army, Cultivation Technique. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Golden Body Episode. Reach Profound 100%. Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, 6th level. Traceless 100%. Life Destruction Saber Techniques, 2nd level. Unparalleled Blood Blade, 100%. Wind Thunder Manual, 3rd level. Instant Horizon, 100%. Fist Scripture, 2nd level. Sky Lion Shaking the Sky, 100%. Finger Scripture, 1st level. Formless Tribulation Finger, 100%. Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, Perfection, 100%. Innate Talent, Level 9 Martial Arts. Golden Body Realm Peak, 150 runes. Energy value, 1,055,000, 50 more automatically added per day. Conception, Slaughter Conception, 7th rank 1%. Thunder Conception, 7th rank 1%. Spatial Conception, 7th rank 1%. Skill, Level 6 Alchemy Technique, 7th rank %. Talent, White Lotus Flame, 7th rank 51%. Luck value, 59. He had just raised the progress of the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon Golden Body chapter to reach Profound 100%, and both his mind and body had reached their limits. He needed to rest before he could continue to improve. What he could improve now was only within the realm of conception. Improving conception used up a significant amount of energy value. Lu Yin was not planning to improve it unless it was a critical moment. However, at this time, even a tiny bit of power increase could determine his life or death in the upcoming battle. So, he was no longer stingy at this moment. Consume 50,000 energy value and raise slaughter conception to 7th rank 6%. Consume 50,000 energy value and raise slaughter conception to 7th rank 11%. Consume 100,000 energy value and raise slaughter conception to 8th stage 1%. The moment slaughter conception reached the 8th stage, the sea of consciousness space underwent a change again. Not only had the range become wider, but even the gray mist inside became denser. Beyond that, the blood-red lotus, which emitted an ultimate killing aura, bloomed its 8th petal. As the petal bloomed, a powerful aura emanated from all directions with Lu Yin's cultivation room at the center. All the demon suppression army members affected by this aura trembled in their souls, their bodies shaking so violently that they could hardly withstand it. Even the Earth-rank demon extermination generals felt an overwhelming pressure bearing down on them, their expressions extremely grave. Martial arts will. At this moment, Master Changkong, who had been sitting cross-legged with his eyes closed, noticed the fluctuation in aura and a golden light burst from his pupils. Then, his gaze penetrated through the layers of obstacles, falling on the figure enveloped in blood-red light. Chapter 467. Martial Arts Will. First arrival to the battlefield under 3. Is this commotion caused by the young lad again? Master Changkong was slightly taken aback when he recognized that the figure was Lu Yin. Martial arts will is one of the signs of a Golden Core Realm true master. Lu Yin, at the peak of the Golden Body Realm, has condensed martial arts will. This achievement even surpasses many martial artists at the peak of the Rune Seed Realm. If this child cannot break the barriers to become a celestial human in the future, Morijin might not have anyone else that will succeed. Sighing slightly, Master Changkong intercepted and sealed off the aura emitted by Lu Yin within a limited range, completely quelling the chaos that occurred earlier. As time slowly went by, Lu Yin extracted his mind from the sea of consciousness after adapting to his drastically intensified slaughter conception. At this moment, he discovered that both his physical exhaustion and mental fatigue vanished. His physical Bodhis affinity for the law also improved. He subtly experienced an inkling that as long as he wanted, he could enhance the pure yang martial arts canon Golden Body chapter to the perceive truth realm and condense the ultimate law rune. Regrettably, in order to level up the slaughter conception to the 8th stage, he had exhausted all of his energy. Currently, the energy value displayed on his panel was less than 10,000. To level the pure yang martial arts canon up to the final perceive truth realm, a massive amount of energy would be needed. Seems like I'll have to unleash my wrath in the upcoming battles, said Lu Yin. Lu Yin ended his seclusion and walked out of the cultivation room. At that moment, the battleship had arrived at the edge of the battlefield. Gazing into the distance, streaks of rainbow light could be seen darting across depths of the void, indicating the strong warriors resorting to killing each other. Lu Yin looked ahead, and it was as if he couldn't see the end of the battlefield. It seemed as if every inch of the land was a battlefield, and every corner of the void was affected by the fierce fights of the warriors, all covered within the scope of the battlefield. In the uppermost part of the void, a massive entity of black terror manipulated terrifying black currents, fiercely suppressing everything beneath it in the void. As for its opponent, it was a strong warrior donned in a profound black battle armor, wielding a golden spear, with not a hair out of place. Is that a Golden Core Realm warrior? Lu Yin's eyes slightly shrank. Golden Core Realm, for a warrior of the Golden Body Realm, was a realm that was far in the distance. Lu Yin previously believed that the difference between him and the Golden Core Realm was huge. Every time he saw a Golden Core Realm warrior in action, He felt a sense of inevitable defeat and inability to resist. However, he abruptly realized now that the previous feeling was gradually weakening. He even sensed discreetly that his difference with the Golden Core realm was constantly narrowing. What is the reason for this? Could it be that breaking through my conception has consequently lifted my strength significantly? His expression looked surprised. Looking at the two Golden Core fighters in the intense battle, his gaze no longer held an ounce of fear or trepidation. Instead, it was veiled in a sense of equality. The strength of the Golden Core realm is not only due to the formation of the Golden Core. It is also the transformation of essence, chi, and spirit, the cultivation of martial arts, and the more effortless manipulation of laws to utilize their own strengths. Apart from this, they will also suppresses other low-level martial artists. This effect happens on a mental and spiritual level. Therefore, general martial artists view Golden Core realm warriors as godlike beings. You, having undergone a transformation of will, have entered the 8th stage and have already preliminarily established the characteristics of the Golden Core realm. Hence, your mentality naturally changed. Hearing the voice, Lu Yin turned his head and saw the amiable face of Master Chongkong. He then asked with confusion, "Martial arts will? Could it be martial arts conception?" "Yes and no." Master Chongkong answered with a faint smile. Conception is martial arts conception, and there are many types, such as slaughter conception, thunder conception, and many others that you have comprehended. But will is singular. Seeing that he had all his cards laid out, Lu Yin wasn't bothered and respectfully asked, "I ask Master Chongkong to continue to enlighten me." Master Chongkong nodded, stroked his white beard, and a satisfied smile appeared on his face. Martial arts, will, is the manifestation of essence, chi, and spirit. Essence is the strength of the body and physique. Chi denotes vitality. Spirit is conception and spiritual power. Martial arts, will, is an amalgamation of your body, vitality, conception, and spiritual power. Rune Seed Realm warriors who want to break through to the Golden Core realm must first elevate their essence, chi, and spirit to the limit to transform and condense martial arts will. Following which, you can condense the Golden Core and become a true master of the Golden Core realm. But amongst 10 Rune Seed Realm Peak warriors, there might not even be one who could transform their essence, chi, and spirit to condense martial arts will, let alone condensing a Golden Core. After all, elevating the body, vitality, conception, and spiritual power to the limit is very difficult. Hearing this, Lu Yin finally understood what martial arts will was and knew the stages that needed to be gone through from the Rune Seed realm to the Golden Core realm. From Master Chongkong's words, Lu Yin understood that he had already caused his essence, chi, and spirit to undergo transformation, condensing martial arts will. The only gap between him and other Golden Core realm warriors was a single Golden Core. Unfortunately, he hadn't even condensed a single rune seed yet. By this time, the battleship had fully entered the battlefield. Ling Hu Da's figure suddenly appeared above the far suppression, and he said solemnly, "We have arrived at the battlefield. Kill!" As his words fell, his black spear cleaved the sky, and then he transformed into a flash of golden light, charging into the depths of the void. Chapter 468. Void Battlefield, Mighty Individuals from All Sides. The Demon Suppression Army has reinforcements. In the void's dark corners, many strong fighters from the 100 sects were secretly observing the battlefield. When they saw the warships of the Blue Blade Legion and the Far Suppression Legion entering the battlefield, their expressions changed slightly. Wei, Tianluan, Tung Qingshan, and other heavenly-level demon extermination generals glanced at the void before joining the battle, but they didn't notice anything unusual. They had grown somewhat used to this situation, from the battle in the White Lotus domain to the battle in the Profound Darkness domain, and finally to this massive battlefield. There had always been powerful fighters from the 100 sects observing. However, these strong fighters were all Golden Core realm cultivators. They hid in the void and rarely showed themselves. Martial artists below the Rune Seed realm couldn't detect them. At first, Wei Tianluan and others were worried that the opponents would join the battlefield. But judging from the later situation, these powerful fighters from the 100 sects were just watching the excitement and had no intention of intervening. In fact, not only were the strong fighters of the 100 sects watching the battle between the Demon Suppression Army and the Red Moon Demon Sect and the 9 Nether Demon Sect, even the Sea Beast tribe was also closely observing. Worried about being affected, the Sea Beast tribe's powerful fighters maintained a considerable distance. In a certain void, a middle-aged man with a domineering face stood with his hands behind his back. Behind him were several gargantuan creatures coiled in the void. The largest sea beast behind the middle-aged man said in a deep voice, "Chief, now that the Morrijin Great Empire is at war with 100 sects, it is the best opportunity for us to seize back the Outer Sea region, even if only to recover part of it." The middle-aged man didn't speak. With his deep and profound eyes, he looked at the distant deep space battlefield, finally focusing on the massive warships. The Demon Suppression Army's forces on the warships were neatly arranged, with the immense number of troops emanating a solemn and evil aura. After a moment of silence, the middle-aged man shook his head slightly and said with a slightly solemn expression, "The Morrijin is much more difficult to deal with than the 100 sects. If they were to completely occupy the Outer Sea region, it would be several times more difficult for our clan to reclaim it. What should we do then? Are we just going to stand idly by as the Outer Sea region is eternally occupied by the human race? On land, our clan's strength cannot be fully utilized, which is why we lost the Outer Sea region to the 100 sect human race. Our clan is powerful, far stronger than the 100 sects. If we had united back then, we wouldn't have let the 100 sects human race take the Outer Sea region." The gargantuan sea beasts discussed amongst themselves. At that moment, as the warships landed, both the Far Suppression Legion and the Blue Blade Legion launched an attack in unison, heading straight for the Red Moon Demon Sect and the 9 Nether Demon Sect on the battlefield. As for Bai Chung FCNG, Lu Yin, and other Earth rank demon extermination generals, they flew into the air, as that was where their battlefield lay. Although this was just one of the many battlefields, its scale was unprecedentedly huge. Ordinary Rune Seed realm cultivators could perish here if they were not careful. Only those in the Golden Core realm possessed real, top-tier combat strength. Lu Yin fixed his eyes on a powerful fighter who was engaged in fierce combat with a Demon Suppression Army warrior. This fighter was in the late stage of the Rune Seed realm. Lu Yin struck swiftly, like a bolt of lightning, and soon a head fell from the sky, with copious amounts of golden blood splattering across the void. Lu Yun's expression remained unchanged as he continued to slaughter his next target. Not good. The sudden focus on the Rune Seed realm cultivator caused his face to turn pale. He knew that the powerful fighter Lu Yun had just killed was in the late stage of the Rune Seed realm, and they were even a well-known member of the Red Moon Demon Sect. Few could stand against him within the same realm. Such a formidable figure had been killed by this young Demon Suppression Army martial artist, which showed how powerful his opponent was. As for himself, he was just in the mid-stage of the Rune Seed realm. Compared to the Red Moon Demon Sect fighter, he was not only a realm lower, but also greatly inferior in terms of combat power. Now that he was being targeted, this mid-stage Rune Seed realm fighter's first choice was to retreat. When a Rune Seed realm fighter flees with all his might, especially in such an intense and chaotic battlefield, it wouldn't be easy to catch them. However, he encountered Lu Yin, whose speed and strength far exceeded his apparent cultivation. The 3,000 thunder movement technique made the void fill with thunderbolts and lightning. Lu Yun swiftly crossed hundreds of miles and appeared in front of the enemy, gently pointing his finger. Like a fleeting light, the formless tribulation finger pierced through the gray void, penetrating the Rune Seed realm fighter's skull. His body fell from the void. The swiftness and strength displayed by Lu Yin made many powerful observers in the void gasp in shock. So strong! Rumors say there is a young Earth rank demon extermination general in the Far Suppression Legion named Lu Yin. Coming from Ling Province, he is the #1 saint child. He is a genius with astonishing combat power. It seems the rumors are true. A Golden Body Realm powerhouse killing a Rune Seed Realm cultivator might be surprising, but it wasn't unheard of. However, a Golden Body Realm powerhouse killing a Rune Seed Realm cultivator as easily as crushing an ant, that was indeed shocking. This not only represented unparalleled combat power, but also the ability to kill across a great realm divide. With such a monstrous talent and astonishing combat power, once such a heavenly pride grows up, he would become a huge threat to the 100 sects. Thinking of this, the powerful fighters hiding in the void gradually had murderous intent rise within their hearts. As a Golden Core realm powerhouses, thoughts moved. The surrounding void trembled slightly. However, this killing intent lasted only a moment before it was withdrawn. Chapter 469. Void Battlefield, mighty individuals from all sides _2. These powerful individuals exchanged knowing glances, with one of them speaking up nonchalantly. At the very least, this young man currently possesses the strength of the late-stage Rune Seed realm. Once he condenses his rune seeds and passes the Thunder Tribulation, he may even possess the combat strength of the Golden Core realm. It's a pity that he's revealing his full capabilities now, especially on such a battlefield. He'll certainly be viewed as a thorn in the side by both the 9 Nether Demon sect and the Red Moon Demon sect. With these words, the expressions of the other powerful individuals changed. Indeed, the 9 Nether Demon sect and the Red Moon Demon sect were already in full-fledged conflict with Morrigan. They wouldn't easily allow any heavenly pride from the enemy side to grow. Now, amidst this chaotic and disordered battlefield, was undoubtedly the best opportunity. Lu Yun, however, was only in the Golden Body realm and had yet to break through to the Rune Seed realm. His fighting strength hadn't been completely unleashed, and his ability to protect himself was relatively weak. The outcome for such an individual on the battlefield was predictable. The reason these powerful individuals from the 100 sects didn't intervene was mainly that they didn't want to offend Morrigan. The fluctuation that flashed by in the void went unnoticed by the martial artists fighting on the battlefield, only being detected by the Earth-rank demon extermination generals of the Golden Core realm. At least they know their place. In a hidden part of the void unknown to everyone else, a figure calmly sat cross-legged, gazing down upon the boundless battlefield beneath him. Then he shifted his gaze and looked towards the depths of the void opposite him, where an incredibly tall figure stood arrogantly. While they did not engage in combat, their energy locked onto one another, with invisible forces clashing against each other. On the battlefield, as several Rune Seed realm experts fell one after another, more and more powerful figures turned their attention to Lu Yin. Similarly, powerful experts from the Red Moon Demon sect and the 9 Nether Demon sect took notice of him too. With a crack in the void, a terrifying force bombarded Lu Yun's unstoppable attack, forcibly blocking it. It was the phantom of a gigantic palm. Although the palm wasn't solid, various golden patterns flickered upon it, exuding immense power. It was this enormous palm that intercepted Lu Yun's powerful strike, which could have killed a late-stage Rune Seed realm expert. At the same time, the palm's phantom disappeared as a middle-aged expert appeared in the void above, looking down at Lu Yun indifferently. He looked ordinary with an average height, but he had a faint air of authority emanating from his brows. This kind of authority could only be bred by those who held high positions for a long time. Zhongli Lianqing. Seeing the newcomer, the expressions of several experts shifted. I didn't expect the great elder of the Netherworld sect to make a move first. It's said that he's already at the peak of the Rune Seed realm, with a chance of becoming the second Golden Core Realm expert of the Netherworld sect. With the Peak Rune Seed Realm expert personally taking action, it seems they're taking Meridian's Saint Child quite seriously. That's true. Zhongli Liancheng's appearance caused a slight stir among the 100 sect experts who were watching from the sidelines. Although they didn't intervene, they were more than happy to see Lu Yin, the monster, fall into Zhongli Liancheng's hands. To them, Zhongli Liancheng undoubtedly had the power to achieve this. The Netherworld sect. They were also one of the 100 sects, but they had been firmly under the control of the Red Moon Demon sect for some time now. The Netherworld sect master was even one of the protectors of the Red Moon Demon sect. As the second most powerful individual in the Netherworld sect, Zhongli Liancheng was indeed very powerful. Peak Rune Seed Realm. Lu Yin looked at the middle-aged man before him with slight surprise in his eyes. It wasn't the shock at the strength of his opponent. A mere ordinary Peak Rune Seed Realm expert couldn't represent much of a threat to him. What really caught his attention was that had so quickly attracted the attention of other experts. With his martial arts well condensed, he could sense that after the arrival of the middle-aged man, countless gazes converged on him from numerous directions. However, he couldn't discern the origins of those invisible gazes. Lu Yun cast a glance at the void, only to see the boundless battlefield without any abnormalities. Have Golden Core Realm experts noticed me? And not just one. Upon realizing this, Lu Yun gasped. If he were to be targeted by Golden Core Realm experts, he wouldn't stand a chance with his current strength. So, you're the Lu Yin that's been talked about recently? Zhongli Liancheng's stern face appeared slightly cold, and his dark eyes were full of depth. The situation in the profound darkness domain and the White Lotus domain was no secret to the 100 sects, especially for the powers engaged in battle with the Demon Suppression Army, such as the Red Moon Demon Sect and the 9 Nether Demon Sect. Actually, when Lu Yin was promoted to an Earth-rank Demon Extermination General, most people in the 100 sects had already received some information about him. His entrance into the 100 sects field of vision was due to the battle at the Sky Brilliant sect and the Silent Plane. You don't have to worry. I alone can slay you, said Zhongli Liancheng with a calm expression. Let's see if you have the strength to do so. Lu Yun's face was cold, with a hint of golden light flickering in his eyes. The moment his words fell, a sword pierced out like a meteor, and the soaring sword radiance burst forth suddenly. Boom! Zhongli Liancheng waved his hand, releasing several runes from his body. A vast amount of laws condensed into the phantom of a gigantic mountain, standing resolutely in the void like an absolute defense, blocking the terrifying sword. Following that, he took a step forward, and ripples surged around him. As he stamped out with one palm, the power of mountains erupted from his body, condensing into a tangible palm-shaped force. It seemed as if it could suppress the heavens themselves. Chapter 470. Void Battlefield, Mighty Individuals from All Sides, _3 Seeking Death. Seeing the opponent fall for it, Lu Yin sneered in his heart and used the 3,000 thunder movement to advance instead of retreating. Sky Brilliant's thunder sword true art. One sword terminates the world. Lu Yin swung the Sky Brilliance sword in his hand, and the blade burst into dazzling light. Devastating sword light struck the giant palm, tearing it apart in an instant. Subsequently, Lu Yun held onto the Sky Brilliance sword and charged forward. Breaking through the sky with a single sword, countless sword chi erupted, each capable of making ordinary Rune Seed Realm experts change color in fear. From afar, sensing the sword chi that split the sky, Zhongli Liancheng's expression instantly turned grave, but he didn't choose to retreat. He couldn't. He was the great elder of the Netherworld sect, a peak expert of the Rune Seed Realm. Countless eyes were watching him from behind. Such a situation did not allow his accustomed arrogant and prideful self to retreat. Law runes swelled up immediately. A huge mountain, almost formed by the rules, appeared in the void, suppressing everything. Boom! 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 Two powerful and terrifying forces collided, causing a massive shockwave that swept through the void around them. All other experts in the area of the collision were hit by the powerful aftermath and hastily retreated. Hidden in the void, quietly watching the battle, the experts revealed astonished looks on their faces. Everything within a radius of hundreds of miles had been turned into dust. The strength exhibited by the two was far beyond the limit of a normal peak rune seed realm. An expert looked at Lu Yun for a long while, finally taking a deep breath. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would never have believed that a golden body realm peak expert could possess the strength of a top rune seed realm pinnacle. Even the most monstrous celestial human reincarnates couldn't exhibit such power at the golden body realm. Yet this young man can achieve this. It's truly terrifying. If Lu Yun lives, he's destined to become the curse of the 100 sects. Hurry and inform the strong from Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect. After seeing Lu Yun's performance, the experts from the 100 sects communicated with one another. Obviously, Lu Yun's terrifying strength had deeply stimulated a nerve in their hearts. An elderly man with an immortal-like demeanor shook his head slightly and said, "Why don't we just watch the changes? The celestial human above is always monitoring our movements. If they discover our intentions, they will surely provide the demon suppression army with an excuse." Elder Hung, even if we don't act, when the demon suppression army eliminates the 9 Nether Demon Sect and the Red Moon Demon Sect, they'll still invade the 100 sects. Rather than that, we should join the battlefield earlier and drive back the demon suppression army. The speaker was a man dressed in a green robe, holding a long sword in his arms with faint dragon traces on it. Standing beside him was a beautiful young girl wearing a snow-white dress, with an ethereal aura, pure and untainted. She was an exceptionally beautiful girl, like a solitary orchid in a deserted valley. She exuded a tranquil beauty just by standing there. The white-haired old man called Elder Hung glanced at the girl and then at the green-robed swordsman. The Demon Suppression Army is merely part of M.O. Rigin's lineup, ignoring whether sects can fully join forces. Even if we did, it doesn't mean we'd be Meridian's match. And further, Elder Hung paused, his gaze unintentionally sweeping across the void and towards the distance, speaking indifferently. The Sea Beast tribe has always been eyeing our coastal territories. If our sects and Demon Suppression Army both suffer losses, the Sea Beast tribe will undoubtedly intervene. At that point, the Demon Suppression Army could retreat from the coastal area. While our sects would be attacked from both sides, survival would be impossible. Upon hearing this, the green-robed swordsman could only agree but glanced at the woman beside him. She stood there elegantly, her ink-black hair dancing in the wind, her long eyelashes fluttering, her eyes covered in a misty haze. She gazed at the distant battlefield. Chapter 471. The attack of the Golden Core Realm strongman, the void battlefield, was vast and boundless, like a black abyss, filled with an endless aura of solemn, killing intent. With each exchange between the strong, ripples upon ripples emerged in the void. No less than a dozen Golden Core Realm martial artists were battling fiercely, and even celestial human-level existences were staring at each other from afar, making the battlefield even more terrifying. In such an intense battlefield, the void continuously shattered, but was eventually stabilized by an even greater power. If it weren't for the intervention of the rules of heaven and earth, this world might have been shattered at any moment due to the fierce battles of the strong. In a certain void within the endless battlefield, two figures were still fighting fiercely, with countless runes interwoven, thunderbolts flashing, and their battle reaching its white-hot limit. Boom! The sky brilliance sword suddenly slashed out the most dazzling and intense sword light. The unparalleled intensity and unstoppable sword momentum surged like a flood, shattering the void and struck Zhongli Lianqing. This one strike had almost doubled in power compared to before, surpassing ordinary rune seed realm peaks. Endless sharpness and invincible sword intent poured out like 100 rivers converging. Zhongli Liancheng's face changed dramatically as he quickly mobilized all the runes to form the sturdiest rune shield to directly defend against the brilliant sword power. Upon collision, an intense shock wave erupted, and Zhongli Liancheng felt terrified, sensing that Lu Yun's strength seemed to have increased several times in an instant. His rune shield, when faced with the most sharp spear, was subjected to a terrifying force that continuously bombarded it, an endless, formidable power that was extremely sharp. The rune shield that he had constructed with all his might, under the impact of this sword power, began to crumble and shatter, falling apart like rotten wood. How is this possible? Zhongli Liancheng expressed the same astonishment that Lu Yun's previous opponents had felt. One must know that he was at the peak of the rune seed realm, far beyond the reach of martial artists who had just entered the peak of the rune seed realm. But now, the strength Lu Yun had unleashed had suddenly surpassed his limits. All-conquering sword radiance advanced unhindered, like nothing in the world could stand in its way, breaking through, shattering and piercing through everything. Retreat! Retreat! With this thought flashing like madness, Zhongli Liancheng retreated without hesitation. This was something that he couldn't have imagined happening to him and hadn't expected to happen. But in this situation, he had no choice but to retreat, even though he knew that his retreat represented a kind of humiliation. Being just a gold body realm martial artist, even if he was the Martial Academy Saint Child, his cultivation was far inferior to his own. Yet he had been pushed into retreat by his opponent, which was a humiliation. Just as Zhongli Liancheng retreated with reluctance and rage, he suddenly found his mind being struck by a mysterious force, causing him a momentary daze. Martial arts will. This was the first time Lu Yun had used martial arts will to strike his opponent's sea of consciousness. Caught off guard, Zhongli Liancheng immediately broke free. Although he had not yet refined his martial arts will, he wasn't far from that point. In the end, Lu Yun's newly refined martial arts will was not powerful enough to truly impact him. However, just that split second was enough for the Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, third style, one invincible strike, to directly hit Zhongli Liancheng's body. His seemingly powerful runes trembled slightly and shattered, making a clanging sound. Under the endless sword light, Zhongli Liancheng's flesh was cut and pierced through. After the sword light passed, a long mark was left in the sky. Lowering his head to see his own pierced chest, he could see the void behind him. Zhongli Liancheng looked at Lu Yun with disbelief and shock on his face. He, the great elder of the Netherworld sect, had been slain here by a mere gold body realm martial artist. His prowess as one of the top powerhouses beneath the Golden Core realm made him a famous figure among the 100 sects. It didn't matter if his opponent was a heavenly pride or a mutant. Lu Yun, even if I die, I won't let you off easy. In the end, the residual sword intent in his body erupted, and Zhongli Liancheng's body was torn apart by the sword qi, turning into a bloody rain that splattered everywhere. Immediately after, a dark red sumi ring fell, as if pulled by invisible strings, and flew into Lu Yun's hand. At the same time, a black light flew out from the blood rain and entered Lu Yun's body without a trace. Lu Yun didn't pay attention and quickly refined the sumi ring. This sumi ring had 100 cubic meters of space, and it contained the pills he needed. There were as many as 5 7th-grade pills. One 7th-grade pill was worth almost 40,000 energy points, and 5 of them amounted to 200,000 energy points. In addition to the pills, there were also some armors, weapons, and other materials. Since he was currently on the battlefield and danger could strike at any moment, he didn't thoroughly inspect them. Lu Yun then checked his black gold identification token and nodded in satisfaction. Good, his account had increased by 40,000 demon extermination points this time. With his previous accumulations, his total had now exceeded 500,000. You dare to kill a great elder of my netherworld sect. You're courting death. Enraged voices echoed while a giant palm, thousands of feet in size, emerged from the void, rolling towards them. Lu Yun's face turned solemn. He immediately gathered all his strength and slashed out an earth-shattering sword strike. Boom! The sword strike, capable of killing the peak of the Rune Seed realm, collided with the giant palm, and it shattered under its impact. Chapter 472. The attack of the Golden Core Realm Strongman _2. Fortunately, it seemed that the attacker had struck in haste and from a greater distance, so that when the attack reached Lu Yun, its power had significantly diminished, causing him no serious harm. As Lu Yun was flung away by this palm strike, he managed to put some distance between himself and his opponent, finally getting a clear look at who was attacking him. Standing in the void, they seemed to be one with the surrounding space, their aura as deep as an abyss, vast and boundless. Considering the brief skirmish earlier, the opponent may have surpassed the Rune Seed realm. Against such a formidable foe, even if he were to use all his trump cards, he wouldn't have a chance to resist. With this in mind, Lu Yun immediately retreated towards the rear. Unleashing the full power of 3,000 thunder movement, Lu Yun's speed reached the limit of the Rune Seed realm. Transforming into a thunderbolt, he quickly vanished from his original position. However, this Golden Core Realm expert did not intend to let Lu Yun escape. You killed the great elder of Netherworld sect and so many deputy masters of Red Moon Demon sect, and you want to leave now. It won't be that easy. He had been watching Lu Yun for a while. Having no time to act earlier, he could only secretly instruct Zhongli Lianqing to attack. He did not expect Zhongli Lianqing, who was at the peak of the Rune Seed realm, to fall into Lu Yun's hands. Lu Yun's monstrous display only intensified the killer intent in his heart. I must eliminate him. Otherwise, even if we can repel the demon suppression army, we will have one more formidable enemy in the future. Suddenly, a golden light radiated around him, and his speed reached its extreme as he chased after Lu Yun. With Yin Wujia stepping in, Lu Yun is unlikely to escape this disaster. The hidden powerhouses in the void rejoiced in their hearts after seeing the appearance of the sect master of Netherworld sect. Lu Yun's sudden display of power and defeating Zhongli Lianqing had shocked them. If he could kill someone at the peak of the Rune Seed realm while being at the peak of the Golden Body realm, wouldn't he be able to kill a Golden Core Realm expert once he condensed rune seeds? Such a monster must not be allowed to live. With the help of the Red Moon Demon sect's cultivation protection, the sect master of the Netherworld sect has advanced to the Golden Core realm. Killing Lu Yun shouldn't be a problem. The man in a green robe spoke with great confidence. However, Elder Hung was not as optimistic as the others and shook his head slightly. The best opportunity to kill Lu Yun has already passed. As soon as he said this, it immediately caught the attention of the surrounding powerhouses. What do you mean, Elder Hung? A beautiful woman with snow-white clothes asked in a soft and melodious voice as serene as a mountain spring, involuntarily drawing the gaze of the green-robed man beside her. Yin Wuji's move has attracted the attention of the demon extermination generals of the heavenly level. Soon, someone will take action against Yin Wujia. It was not Elder Hung who replied to the woman in white, but the middle-aged man next to him. In the void, Lu Yun frantically fled. Did they catch up so quickly? Feeling the intense fluctuations from behind him, Lu Yun frowned deeply, and his heart sank to the depths. He had already escaped tens of thousands of miles, yet the pursuit continued relentlessly, making it clear that he was being singled out. If he were caught, there would be no chance of breaking free. In terms of foundation and strength, although he had far surpassed the limit of his current realm and was even much stronger than many peak Rune Seed realm experts, such foundation and strength were no match for a true Golden Core realm expert. The gap between them could not be bridged by foundation or talent. Immediately, Lu Yun cast Instant Horizon without any hesitation. As swirling ripples appeared, Lu Yun's figure disappeared from his original position. Disappeared? Yin Wujie was shocked when he saw Lu Yun suddenly vanish from his line of sight. He hadn't expected that just as he was about to catch up with Lu Yun, his target would disappear right under his nose. And it was the kind of disappearance that left no trace. He didn't use a spatial talisman, nor did he rely on other treasures. It seemed more like some kind of divine ability. Looking at the ripples left around him, a hint of coldness flashed in his deep eyes. However, he quickly dismissed the thought in his heart. Lu Yun had not condensed rune seeds, and it was impossible for him to master rune seed divine abilities. Elder Hung, did you see clearly just now how Lu Yun suddenly disappeared? The man in green robe tried to hide the complexity in his eyes and sincerely asked Elder Hung for guidance. The rest also turned their gazes to Elder Hung. Although they were all Golden Core Realm experts, they were unable to discern the means that Lu Yun had used earlier. Elder Hung, who had both moral integrity and broad experience, was the only one who could see the clues among them. Unfortunately, Elder Hung also slightly shook his head. Even though he had vast experiences, how could he ever see through methods like Instant Horizon? Instantly traversing thousands of miles, such a means could only be achieved by a celestial human. As for Elder Hung, he was merely at the peak of the Golden Core Realm. Yin Wujie searched for traces of Lu Yun everywhere, already determined to kill. How could he easily give up? His gaze swept across the battlefield and soon saw a powerful wave appearing thousands of miles away. Found you. A sinister glow flashed in Yin Wujie's deep eyes, and he quickly flew in that direction. Golden Core Realm experts were extremely fast, crossing hundreds of miles in just a few breaths. Yin Wujie suddenly moved quickly in a certain direction. Did he find something? The experts hidden in the void were surprised after noticing Yin Wujie's unusual behavior and asked, "It is said that the Netherworld sect has a secret technique called Blood Soul Curse. At the last moment of their lives, they can use blood as a medium to leave a mark on the person who killed them. This mark can last for half a month. And those who practice this secret technique in the Netherworld sect can sense the mark they planted within a certain range. If I'm not mistaken, Zhongli Lianqing planted the Blood Soul Curse on Lu Yun at the last moment of his life, and Yin Wujie must have discovered Lu Yun's whereabouts through the Blood Soul Curse mark. After using Instant Horizon to escape to another corner of the void battlefield, Lu Yun targeted another Rune Seed realm martial artist. He had learned his lesson from the past. Because he had been too conspicuous, he had been targeted by the Golden Core Realm experts. Therefore, Lu Yun became much more low-key and focused on the initial and middle stages of the Rune Seed realm martial artists. This time his target was a martial artist in the early stage of the Rune Seed realm. After locking onto his target, Lu Yun quickly killed him with the speed of lightning and then disappeared from the original spot after collecting his spoils of war. From locking the target to killing the target and collecting the spoils of war, the whole process didn't take much time, and because of this none of the people around noticed the appearance of a powerful figure like Lu Yun. With such unrestraint, in less than half an hour, Lu Yun had killed 5 Rune Seed realm martial artists and harvested a large number of pills and other resources. In this process, he had also been noticed by a peak Rune Seed realm expert. However, Lu Yun never engaged with him. Although he could kill the opponent, he would need to use some means, and it would inevitably create a great disturbance, which would easily attract the attention of other Golden Core Realm experts. Having just been taught a lesson, he naturally wouldn't make that mistake again. Thus, whenever he encountered enemies that were slightly difficult to kill, he would choose to avoid the battle temporarily. Why is this brat hiding here and there? Could he have discovered that he has been cursed with the Blood Soul Curse? Seeing the direction of the Blood Soul Curse mark constantly changing, Yin Wujie's face turned gloomy. The Blood Soul Curse is very secretive, and ordinary martial artists could hardly notice it. If he has really discovered it, he would only flee for his life, not linger in one place. Upon thinking this, Ian Wuji's face finally smoothed over. Half an hour later, as Ian Wujia felt the mark of the Blood Soul Curse getting closer and closer, a hint of a smile finally appeared in his eyes. Finally found you. Ian Wuji's gaze penetrated the gray void and landed on a battlefield 50 miles away. There, Lu Yun was lurking, preparing to strike down his target with a thunderous blow. Chapter 473. Escaping the battlefield, beginning the breakthrough. This little guy not only has monstrous talent and strength, but also exceptional life-saving skills. What's more, he's extremely cautious. Once he escapes again, it won't be easy to find him. We must strike like thunder and not give him any chance to flee this time. With this thought, Ian Wujia temporarily suppressed his murderous intent, slowly closing the distance with Lu Yun. When there were only a dozen miles left between them, he chose to lie low and wait for the opportunity to strike a fatal blow. Lu Yun didn't know that he had been marked with the Blood Soul Curse and was being pursued by Ian Wujia. After carefully scanning the surroundings, he found that there were no powerful figures above the Rune Seed Realm Peak within a 10-mile radius. In the next instant, his body swept across the sky like a ghost. The sky brilliance sword suddenly slashed out, and the long-accumulated sword force burst forth. The sword radiance momentarily resembled the heavens collapsing and the earth splitting, causing the void to tremble violently. The sword was like a stream of light, its momentum like thunder. The surrounding powerful fighters changed their expressions in just an instant. This terrifying presence had a tremendous impact on their minds, especially the target chosen by Lu Yun. Both his mind and body seemed to be stuck in a deadlock state for an instant. When he recovered, he only felt a slight sting in the throat. Immediately after, by the time he saw the figure attacking him, his consciousness sank from light into darkness. The entire process was clean and swift, without causing the opponent any pain. The surrounding Demon Suppression Army and Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect martial artists couldn't see the figure enveloped in thunderous light clearly. Now is the time. As Lu Yun killed his target and absorbed the Sumi Ring, a cold glint flashed in Ian Wuji's eyes, and his breath suddenly erupted. Accompanied by the revelation of Ian Wuji's murderous intent, an overwhelmingly powerful breath pervaded the void, suppressing the heavens and earth. Everyone couldn't help but change their expressions, feeling horrified as they only felt a heavy weight on their chests, as if a massive mountain were pressing down, making it difficult to breathe. Those with slightly weaker cultivation bases felt their consciousness dissipating, their spirits being dizzy for a moment, and an inexplicable trepidation surged from their souls and hearts. That's right, the moment he erupted, Ian Wujia not only used the power of a Golden Core realm expert, but also his martial arts will to assert dominance over Lu Yun. Retreat! Retreat! In just a breath of seconds, Lu Yun broke free from the pressure of the opponent's martial arts will and then promptly executed Instant Horizon without hesitation. However, he found that the surrounding void had suddenly become indestructible, as if it were composed of copper walls and iron barriers. Whoosh! A blood-red figure stood in the void, exuding a monstrous aura. Countless blood-colored breaths swirled around him, filling the sky, demonstrating unrivaled demonic power. It was Ian Wujia. His cold and indifferent gaze swept over, disdainful of the trivial demon suppression army and martial artists on the battlefield. Like a demon god, his gaze made everyone feel an indescribable trepidation from the depths of their hearts. Ignoring everyone else, his gaze fell on Lu Yun, who was trapped in the Netherworld Gate. You could break free from the oppression of martial arts will, but it's a pity that I've already made thorough preparations and won't give you a second chance to escape. Netherworld Gate? Lu Yun's eyes darkened slightly as he glanced around and finally looked up at the void above, detecting an anomaly. Ripples spread, and a faint, blood-colored light emerged from the void. A vague silhouette stood tall in the void. Was that the Netherworld Gate? Lu Yun immediately thought that it was because of the Netherworld Gate that his previous attempt to execute Instant Horizon had failed, as it had sealed the surrounding space. This kid has too many tricks. I can't be careless. With a thought, Ian Wuji's eyes instantly condensed, and a blood-red spear appeared in his hand, coiled with countless blood-colored breaths. The spear, like a demonic dragon emerging from the abyss, exploded with unparalleled killing intent, bombarding Lu Yun, who was trapped beneath the Netherworld Gate without any mercy. This spear caused wind and thunder to mix, a sea of blood to surge, the sky to collapse and the earth to shatter. Lu Yun was alarmed. Was this the power of a full strike from a Golden Core Realm expert? With a turn of thought, Lu Yun's body was hit by the blood-red spear, wrapped in light, instantly disintegrating, but only an afterimage was shattered. Several hundred feet away, amidst the flashing thunder, Lu Yun's figure appeared, his gaze fixed on Ian Wuji standing on the Netherworld Gate. After seeing his appearance clearly, his eyes grew cold. This fellow was truly relentless and shameless. Although he had just dodged the spear, he was still affected by the aftermath. The energy from his protective armor dissipated, and his physical body sustained minor injuries. However, this scene looked entirely different in Ian Wuji's eyes. Such fast speed, such powerful physical strength. He had thought that with Lu Yun being suppressed by the Netherworld Gate and himself employing all the power of the early Golden Core Realm, there would be no way for his opponent to survive. But he didn't expect Lu Yun to forcibly move under the binding force of the Netherworld Gate. This physical strength and explosive speed were something that even the Rune Seed Realm Peak experts couldn't achieve. Soon, Ian Wuji came to his senses. Looking at Lu Yun, his killing intent grew thicker. It's a pity that you've already been suppressed by the Netherworld Gate. No matter how strong your body is or how fast your speed is, it won't make much difference. Killing you will also cost Morijin a monstrous talent. Lu Yun was naturally unwilling to sit idle and wait for death. The sky brilliance sword slashed down, and the sword sound resonated through the void. A crimson gold sword radiance burst out from the scabbard, shattering the sky and carrying an unparalleled sharpness and domineering power, aimed at the Netherworld Gate above. Chapter 474. Escaping the Battlefield. Beginning the breakthrough _to this sword, covering the heavens and the earth, span the horizon, and the vast sky seemed to be torn apart, with radiant light shining so brightly that everyone's eyes cannot open. Ian Wuji's cold and ruthless face, like that of a demon venerable, involuntarily changed slightly as he sensed the power of breaking extreme from this sword radiance. A rumbling echoed through the void, and with a flick of Ian Wuji's spear, a blood-red dragon pierced through, shattering the void, and with an utterly tyrannical posture, it collided with the scarlet golden sword radiance. As the sword radiance shattered, Lu Yun's expression darkened slightly. The gap between me and the Golden Core Realm is still vast. This previous sword move could be considered his most potent strike, but even so, it still submerged beneath the opponent's attack. You cannot escape. Just obediently accept death. Ian Wuji flicked his spear, and countless spear radiance pierced through the void. At the same time, the Netherworld Gate hidden in the void, imprisoning one side of the space, released blood-red light, and the suppressing and sealing force constantly descended on Lu Yun's body. This scene was also noticed by some powerful warriors. This young man can make a formidable Golden Core warrior like Ian Wuji to go all out, which shows his depth and strength. Indeed, being able to force Ian Wuji to use the Netherworld Gate with the peak of the Golden Body Realm indicates that his foundation and strength are extremely profound and terrifying. But it's a pity that the means and divine abilities of the Golden Core realm are far from comparable to the Rune Seed realm. Moreover, Inwujia is not a newcomer to the Golden Core realm. This evildoer, Morijin, is destined to fall. Some strong warriors shook their heads and sighed, anticipating Lu Yun's fate. Even if one was at the peak of the Golden Body realm, it was impossible to block a Golden Core realm warrior. Even if one possessed unprecedented talent and combat power, what would it matter? At the same time, they breathed a sigh of relief in their hearts. On the other hand, Lu Yun had already discarded everything else. All he could do now was to fully activate the pure Yang Strong origin, mobilize the runes within his body, and resist the pressure from the Netherworld Gate and those blood-red spear radiants. Gradually, his aura origin weakened severely, and even his formidable golden body began to show cracks. Lu Yin felt his head grow increasingly blurry, his body shaking violently, his pupils constricting, and golden blood flowing out from his mouth and nose. Hold on, I must hold on. Even at the last moment, he still had no intention of giving up. He couldn't believe that the other powerful warriors of the Demon Suppression Army wouldn't come to his rescue. Hee, give up your futile attempts to resist. There's no way you can survive my attack. Seeing Lu Yin's gradually weakening energy and bloody appearance, the murderous intent on Inwuji's hideous face grew even stronger. Inwujia, today I will send you to your doom. At the moment when Inwujia was full of cudgement, a loud voice echoed through the void. Immediately afterward, a vast and boundless force surged through the void, and a long knife emitting red light seemed to cut across time and space. Seeing the bright red, blazing hot long knife, Lu Yin's heart relaxed slightly. I finally held on until the last moment. Not good. Inwuji's expression changed dramatically as he sensed the sudden rise of danger behind him. He abandoned his attack on Lu Yin, turned his spear, and exerted all his strength to stab at the towering blade radiance descending. The blade and spear collided, and their vast aura suddenly erupted. The terrifying waves swept across the battlefield within a radius of tens of thousands of miles in an instant, and all the Rune Seed Realm and Golden Body Realm warriors engaged in fierce battles stopped for a moment, turning their heads to SEC where the disturbance was coming from. Golden Core Realm Warrior, Heavenly Level Demon Extermination General. The powerful fighters engaged in heated battles on both sides suddenly changed their expression. In this boundless battlefield, many Golden Core Realm warriors were fighting, but they were all in deeper levels of the void. Now, however, one had descended on this battlefield, clearly breaking the previous stalemate. Lu Yin, in another corner of the battlefield, Bai Changfeng couldn't help but shake his head when he saw that Lu Yin was the cause of the two Golden Core warriors' explosive confrontation. Nevertheless, he soon refocused his attention on his opponent. His opponent was also quite strong, nearly reaching the limit of the Rune Seed Realm. From the beginning of the battle until now, the two had been fighting fiercely for more than 2 hours without a clear victor. Both were well matched, so neither dared to be distracted. Dugashan, a deep and domineering voice rang out from the void. In the gray void, Inwuji's hair fluttered, his breathing becoming slightly chaotic, and the blood-red light from the Netherworld Gate beneath his feet dimmed. Lu Yin, who had been trapped, also escaped from the void. Inwujia, as the sect master of the Netherworld sect, I find it amusing that you would take action against a golden body realm martial artist of my demon suppression army. Dugu Shanxian stood with his hands behind his back, his tall body towering like a pillar. He was surrounded by intense flames of light. Having failed with one strike, Ling Hu Dao did not feel regretful. Dugu Shanxian. Upon hearing this name, the first thing that came to Lu Yun's mind was his relationship with Dugu Yuan. His gaze swept across Dugu Shangshuan's face, faintly discerning some similarities between him and Dugu Yuan. However, Lu Yun deeply remembered the name Dugu Shanxian. If he hadn't come to the rescue in time, Lu Yun doubted he could have held on much longer. Then he shifted his gaze to Inwujia, his eyes filled with extreme coldness. Chapter 475. Escaping the battlefield, beginning the breakthrough _3. The next time we meet, the roles will be reversed and it'll kill you. Then, Lu Yun quickly left the battlefield. His gold body had been seriously damaged, his yuan hai nearly depleted. Unable to exert even 30% of his strength, he was no longer suited to remain on the battlefield to fight enemies. Seeing Lu Yun escape from his grasp once again, Inwujia, though unwilling, didn't pursue him after all. He understood that the moment Dugu Shanxian appeared, he lost his chance to kill Lu Yun. Dugu Shangshuan's gaze slowly retracted from the direction where Lu Yun had disappeared and fell back on Inwujia. Since I've already made a move, let's have a good fight. With that, he slashed with his sword. What seemed like a simple slash in reality carved a massive trace in the void, a flaming slash filled with a hot and domineering aura. I have to see how capable you, Dugu Shanxian, really are. In Inwuji's gloomy eyes, there was cold and mercilessness. With that, he too stabbed out with a spear. In the beginning, he was attacked, and his attention was mainly focused on Lu Yun, so he did not exert all of his strength. This time he burst out with full power. The moment the blood-red spear and the blazing flaming sword clashed, they erupted with a force that could shatter the heavens and the earth. Boom, boom, boom. The hot atmosphere, the violent power, swept across the void. Everywhere it passed, everything crumbled and decayed like paper paste. A golden core realm strongman with a single move could destroy heaven and earth. Within tens of thousands of miles where two people fought, martial artists and demon suppression army who could not escape in time were all killed. Only the slightly stronger rune, Seed Realm, was not affected. Everything that happened here was unrelated to Lu Yun, who had left. After escaping from the Netherworld Gate, he used Instant Horizon and quickly arrived at the edge of the battlefield. At this time, he was still covered in blood, looking like a blood man. At the edge of the battlefield, only those martial artists with less strength wandered about, fighting with the demon extermination guards led by yellow rank and black rank demon extermination generals. Upon seeing Lu Yun, who was covered in blood and in a state of disarray, appear suddenly, the martial artists from the Red Moon Demon Sect and the 9 Nether Demon Sect rushed up. However, facing this sudden encirclement, Lu Yun gave a cold smile. The golden-edged sword fong was activated, the sky brilliance sword vibrated, and in an instant more than 10 people fell. Lu Yun was leisurely flying among the encircling martial artists. Even though he was severely injured, the power he showed was terrifying. Such strength immediately made these attacking martial artists realize that they had kicked an iron plate. The target is too strong, let's retreat. The martial artist with the strongest strength, who was almost reaching the peak of the golden body realm, immediately used body lightning technique to escape. Lu Yun did not chase after him. He didn't even pick up the spoils of war, and quickly left the battlefield to return to the demon suppression army camp. This battlefield had been at a stalemate for several months, and it would not be easy to determine a winner in a short time. There were always demon suppression army entering and leaving the battlefield, and Lu Yun was not the only one. After showing his demon extermination token, Lu Yun entered the demon suppression army camp, found the temporary camp belonging to the Far Suppression Legion, and found a quiet place to start recovering from his injuries. This time his gold body was seriously damaged and was still deteriorating. Relying on his own healing capabilities, it would take a long time to recover. If some measures are not taken in time, it is likely to damage his own foundation. Therefore, Lu Yun had to find a top-grade, 6th-grade pill from his spoils of war to take. The injury was too severe, and it was an injury left by a golden core realm strongman. The top 6th-grade pill had no effect at all. Given this situation, Lu Yun had to bite the bullet and select a purple-gold frost pill from the 7th-grade pills. A 7th-grade pill, almost equivalent to 20,000 energy values. To say that it didn't hurt would be impossible. However, compared to healing his injuries and preserving his foundation, this seems less important. Once the purple gold frost pill was consumed, the worsening injuries finally stopped. The horrifying healing ability began to play a role. With the remaining energy of the pill, his gold body gradually began to recover. During the healing period, Lu Yun sorted out the spoils of war he obtained this time: pills, weapons, spirit crystals, spirit herbs, and other spiritual objects. Lu Yun sorted them according to these categories and took out all the pills, intending to refine them to boost his strength. The captured pills weren't many, but they were of high quality. Quite a few were 6th and 7th grade pills. After spending half a day, Lu Yun finally refined all the pills, and the energy value on the panel once again broke the 1,000,000 mark. Name: Lu Yun Force, Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army, Cultivation Technique, Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Golden Body Episode, Reach Profound 100%, Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, 6th level, Traceless 100%, Life Destruction Saber Techniques, 2nd level, Unparalleled Blood Blade 100%, Wind Thunder Manual, 3rd level, Instant Horizon 100%, Fist Scripture, 2nd level, Sky Lion Shaking the Sky 100%, Finger Scripture, 1st level, Formless Tribulation Finger 100%, Thunder Sword True Art, Sky Brilliance 100%. Innate Talent, Level 9 Martial Arts, Golden Body Realm Peak 150 runes, Energy Value 1,205,000, automatically increases by 50 each day. Conception, Slaughter Conception 8 stage 1%, Thunder Conception 7 stage 1%, Spatial Conception 7th stage 1%. Skill, Level 6 Alchemy Technique, 7th grade %. Talent, White Lotus Flame, 7th grade 1%. Luck Value, 61. It's time to break the limit. Lu Yun took a deep breath, concentrating on the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon. Upgrade. Boom, boom, boom. Thunderclaps rang out over the Demon Suppression Army camp on a sunny day, followed by rolling thunderstorms. In the vast camp, every Demon Suppression Army who was resting and practicing looked up at the sky. Some were shocked, some were puzzled, and all sorts of surprised expressions were everywhere. Chapter 476. Condense Rune Seeds, Heaven and Earth's Gift Sky Thunder Phenomenon. Within the Demon Suppression Army Station, Ling Feng looked at the scene of the rolling thunder with a strange expression on his face. This phenomenon was the first time he had seen such an occurrence. However, if it came to rumors, he had heard about it many times. According to the rumors, only the birth of a superior rune seed and a purple extreme golden core can possibly cause the heavens and earth to produce such a phenomenon. It seems that Lu Yun has begun to condense superior rune seeds. However, it is unclear how many law runes he possesses now. Looking in the direction of Lu Yun's seclusion, a hint of shock appeared in Ling Feng's eyes. A superior rune seed was no longer a secret to a powerful individual like him. In fact, there were also people in the Demon Suppression Army who had condensed superior rune seeds, but such individuals were no more than a handful. However, when these heavenly prides condensed superior rune seeds, they all did so under the protection of several army commanders. Others had no chance of observing it. If there were no accidents, Lu Yun would enjoy the same treatment. Sure enough, after a short while the void trembled, and amidst the grey void ripples emerged, followed by a vast figure enshrouded in golden mist appearing in the sky. Upon seeing the arrival, Ling Feng and all the nearby Demon Suppression Army bowed to the void in unison. Greetings to Army Commander Gong Sun Zhonghong. Standing with his hands behind his back, Gong Sun Zhonghong's towering figure appeared as if he was supporting the heavens and the earth. Even the vast sky seemed somewhat insignificant under his might. Now, within my Demon Suppression Army, another heavenly pride has emerged that can condense a superior rune seed. It's appropriate for me to protect the cultivation path for this. You all leave quickly. We will follow the orders of Army Commander Gong Sun Zhonghong. Ling Feng and the other demon extermination generals and demon extermination guards did not dare to delay and left one after another. A heavenly pride that condensed a superior rune seed would receive feedback from the will of heaven and earth. If other martial artists were nearby, they would affect and share this feedback. Therefore, whenever there was a heavenly pride that condensed superior rune seeds, a strong individual would guard them. Golden Core Realm and stronger individuals had exceptional strength and could separate this feedback, leaving behind an opportunity to observe without causing any impact. Following Gong Sun Zhonghong's appearance, several other powerful individuals that were stationed in the camp also appeared. These were all heavenly-level demon extermination generals with vigorous aura and strong strength. Among them was a heavenly-level demon extermination general who looked quite young and handsome. The other demon extermination generals seemed to regard him as their leader. This individual was named Nangong Rue, a martial academy saint child as well. He had condensed superior rune seeds, formed a superior golden core, and possessed extraordinary combat capabilities, not weaker than an early heavenly human realm expert. Among those around him, the weakest in cultivation were at the initial stage of the Golden Core Realm, a gathering of powerful individuals. Brother Nangong, it is said that Lu Yun is a saint child. What kind of feedback do you think he will receive from heaven and earth after condensing a superior rune seed? A heavenly-level demon extermination general at the initial stage of the Golden Core Realm retracted his gaze from Lu Yun's seclusion and said to Nangong Run, although he was a Golden Core Realm powerhouse, he had never observed the process of condensing superior rune seeds. Observing Lu Yun this time was his first time after advancing to the Golden Core Realm. To my knowledge, there are 2 types of heavenly and earthly feedback. 3 flowers gathered on top and 5 chi towards origin. In the past thousands of years, most superior rune seeds could only receive the heavenly and earthly feedback of 3 flowers gathered on top. As for Lu Yin, he is very likely to receive the heavenly and earthly feedback at the level of 5 chi towards origin. Nangong Rue had also heard about the achievements of the rising star Lu Yin, knowing that he had been able to kill a rune seed realm at the peak of the golden body realm and escape from the hands of a golden core realm expert. Such a heaven-defying performance was enough to show that Lu Yun had a solid foundation and horrifying talent. If there were no accidents, he would definitely receive the heavenly and earthly feedback of 5 chi towards origin. While the crowd was talking, Gong Sun Zhonghong, who was in the void, finally made his move. Countless golden lights fell in all directions, sealing off the phenomenon of the heavens and the earth in this area. The golden barrier sealed off an area hundreds of miles in radius, preventing even the Golden Core Realm experts from entering. This was the means of a heavenly human realm expert, sealing off a part of the void. Looking at Gong Sun Zhonghong, who was making waves in the sky, the Golden Core Realm experts below couldn't help feeling envious and admiring. For most of them, the Golden Core Realm was their limit. Becoming a heavenly human was unattainable. I didn't expect that advancing from reach profound to perceive truth in the Golden Body episode would consume nearly 300,000 energy points. At this moment, Lu Yun, who was not concerned about the outside world, was still in the state of epiphany. After the pure Yang martial arts canon Golden Body episode entered perceived truth, the number of law runes did not surge at once. Instead, they helped Lu Yun quickly inscribe the runes through an epiphany state. 151 SD, 152 ND. As time passed, the gathering of thunder in the heavens and earth became more terrifying, and the phenomenon grew even more astonishing. Meanwhile, the law runes above Lu Yun's Yuan Hai became more and more numerous, his entire body shrouded in golden light. The dazzling light spread across the surrounding area, as if some heavenly treasure was about to be born. Rumble. As Lu Yun's law runes soared, The heavenly and earthly spiritual qi outside became more and more violent, surging towards Lu Yin like a bursting dam. However, there was a golden light barrier outside Lu Yun's body, so these spiritual qi did not enter his body. Instead, they flowed along the golden light barrier towards the sky above his head. Upon seeing this scene, the Golden Core Realm experts present wore astonished expressions on their faces. This phenomenon is simply too terrifying. Even before condensing the rune seed, it has reached such a level. It seems that Brother Nangong was right. Lu Yun is bound to receive the 5 qi towards origin heavenly and earthly bestowal. Chapter 477. Condensing rune seed, heaven and earth bestow gifts _2 under the astonished and shocked gazes of the crowd. The heavenly and earthly spiritual qi accumulating above Lu Yun's head grew denser and formed a clear spring. Moreover, as time passed, the area of the clear spring formed by the accumulation of heavenly and earthly spiritual qi became larger and larger. Not far away, Nangong Rue had been paying close attention to Lu Yun. His expression remained calm, but nobody knew that his heart had been stirred by tremendous waves. Others did not know the specific details of refining a superior rune seed, but he knew them very well. This kind of anomaly around Lu Yin was much more powerful than that of his own back then. At the same time, the heavenly and earthly spiritual qi, surging toward Lu Yin, became more and more abundant. Under the influence of the golden light shield, all of it condensed above Lu Yun and formed a spiritual lake. If such an extremely dense heavenly and earthly spiritual qi was shared with other members of the demon suppression army, I'm afraid that they would break through several realms at once, a heavenly level demon extermination general side. Someone shook their head, disagreeing. This spiritual lake is the foundation bestowed by heaven and earth. Giving it to other members of the demon suppression army to help break through realms would only be a waste. Compared to a heavenly pride with a supreme foundation, the other members of the demon suppression army seemed somewhat insignificant. After all, the Morrijin region was vast with a population of more than tens of billions. The number of people who could become members of the demon suppression army was countless. However, a heavenly pride capable of refining a superior rune seed and almost certainly becoming a celestial human was extremely rare. Time leisurely passed, and the law runes within Lu Yun's body finally reached their limit. 175. 99 law runes were required to refine a superior rune seed. There were as many as 175 runes within Lu Yun's body, almost double the minimum requirement. At this time, the spiritual lake above Lu Yun's head spanned dozens of miles, with rolling waves engulfed in fog, resembling a fairy lake. Above the spiritual lake, thunder rolled and its momentum reached its peak. The powerful experts surrounding him stared at this scene, their faces turning solemn and serious. After much anticipation, it was finally time for Lu Yin to refine the superior rune seed. It was at this moment that the thunder tribulation transformed into a lightning torrent and descended. This terrifying tribulation power was chilling. However, the thunder tribulation did not fall on Lu Yin, but on the spiritual lake that spanned dozens of miles above him. The spiritual lake boiled, thunderbolts flew, fog swirled, and a purple radiance rose from it. Boom! The heavenly and earthly spiritual qi violently surged, growing even more frenzied as it poured into the spiritual lake, enlarging its size. The thunder tribulation torrent descended with a crash, strengthening the fog and purple radiance within the spiritual lake, causing them to start drifting outward. After this happened, Gong Sun Zhonghong, who had remained motionless in the void, took action again. Golden light descended from the sky, blocking the escaping purple radiance and fog outside the spiritual lake. As for the Golden Core Realm powerhouses, such as Nangong Rue, who were observing, they shielded their own auras one after another, so as not to interfere with the growth of the spiritual lake's anomaly. The next moment, they saw a purple flower slowly taking shape above Lu Yun's head, emitting a majestic spiritual qi and fluctuations of law. Immediately after that, a second purple flower condensed, almost with only 1 or 2 breaths in between. There was hardly any interval between the appearance of the 2 flowers. 2 more breaths later, the third foggy purple flower condensed from the spiritual qi. My God, in just a few breaths, he has achieved the 3 flowers gathering above, and Lu Yun is bound to receive the heavenly and earthly feedback of 5 qi towards origin. It's terrifying. It took such a short time to condense the 3 flowers, far surpassing the time it took anyone else I've ever seen to do it. The strange light gleamed in the eyes of these golden core realm powerhouses. Even Nangong Run couldn't believe his eyes as he gazed at Lu Yun. The speed at which the other party's anomaly condensed the 3 flowers far exceeded his expectations. When he had experienced his anomaly, it took him nearly a quarter of an hour to condense the 3 flowers. Rumble. Thunder exploded, and the heavenly and earthly spiritual qi became even more violent. Above the spiritual lake, 2 more extremely dense purple flowers condensed. Seeing this scene, everyone's eyes widened, their faces filled with disbelief. One of the mid-golden core realm heavenly level demon extermination generals exclaimed, 5 qi towards origin in less than 10 breaths. He's already condensed the anomaly manifested by the 5 qi towards origin. At this point, almost all the heavenly level demon extermination generals were no longer calm. What kind of foundation has Lu Yun forged that he could condense the 5 qi towards origin anomaly so quickly? Comparing to that, what I'm even more looking forward to is him breaking the records of ancient people in such a short period and possibly condensing an even stronger anomaly. Yes, I've never heard of an anomaly beyond the 5 qi towards origin before. The surrounding exclamations were endless, and everyone was overwhelmed with shock. This time, even Gong Sun Zhonghong in the void was astonished, and his eyes fell on Lu Yun several times. Before this, Gong Sun Zhonghong had believed that Lu Yun would be able to receive the 5 qi towards origin heavenly and earthly feedback. However, completing the anomaly condensation in such a short period far exceeded his expectations. With such a monstrous talent and terrifying foundation, breaking the records of ancient people, perhaps it will be up to him to take on a crucial role in that future event. Gong Sun Zhonghong sighed and stared at Lu Yun, who was cultivating cross-legged with bright, shining eyes. At this moment, Gong Sun Zhonghong had decided that no matter what, he must ensure Lu Yun's survival in this battle and make sure he could cultivate to the celestial human realm. Chapter 478. Condense Rune Seeds. Gifts from Heaven and Earth. 3. The potential exhibited by Lu Yun had completely moved Gong Sun Zhonghong, a revered celestial human. Although Lu Yun had already gained a reputation for his horrifying combat power, it was nothing more than a rumor that Gong Sun Zhonghong hadn't witnessed with his own eyes, so he didn't believe it completely. Yet, this time Gong Sun Zhonghong saw the phenomenon with his own eyes, and the possibility of Lu Yun even breaking the ancient record made his fearsome combat power and talent absolutely worthy of trust and reliance. Boom! Suddenly, the spiritual sea above Lu Yun's head surged wildly, and one after another, purple flowers were condensed. Surrounding each purple flower were purple hazy vapors with an extremely rich spiritual energy and laws. Some counted, and there were as many as 9 purple flowers in total. Under the fearsome thunder tribulation, these 9 purple flowers rotated incessantly above the spiritual lake, radiating brilliant glows, with laws interweaving and spiritual energy furiously exploding. Gradually, within the vast spiritual lake, pillars of spiritual fluid rose up and poured into the purple flowers surrounded by hazy vapors. As everyone watched, the vast spiritual lake was completely infused into the 9 purple flowers, making their glows even more dazzling, the surrounding hazy vapor denser, and the law aura even more terrifying. The 9 purple flowers rotated rapidly casting brilliant light that illuminated the area, presenting an astonishing sight that caused many onlookers to stare dumbfoundedly. They had never seen this kind of phenomenon before, nor had they ever heard of it. However, looking at the sight formed in the sky, the shock in their eyes only grew deeper. At this moment, Lu Yun's body slowly began to float, releasing golden light that was incredibly dazzling, like a golden sun radiating endless golden brilliance. The 9 purple flowers spinning quickly above his head suddenly began to merge, reforming into a vast purple flower. What was even more astonishing was that a vast aura of laws constantly emanated from the purple flower. Reunion of 99? Someone suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Looking at the purple flower surrounded by an extremely dense hazy aura and emitting a vast aura of laws, many heavenly-level demon extermination generals couldn't help but gasp, utterly astonished. Lu Yun had truly broken the ancient record, receiving a gift from heaven and earth that surpassed the 5 chi towards origin level. What a terrifying law aura! It's enough to make up for decades of hard cultivation for anyone else. Gong Sun Zhonghong watched Lu Yun, who was floating in the air, shocked, with colorful lights flickering in his deep eyes. Nan Gongran, another martial academy saint child, had long been stunned, even though his cultivation had already reached the golden core realm. Both were saint children, and both condensed superior rune seeds, but the natural gifts Nan Gongran received were several grades lower compared to Lu Yun's. After the reunion of 99, auspicious clouds appeared in the sky, with purple clouds filling it. The flower emitting the vast law aura merged into Lu Yun's body, fusing with the rune seed interwoven with laws above his yuan hai. Lu Yun sat cross-legged in midair, his expression solemn and focused, looking like a parched land receiving rain, instantly full of vitality. At this moment, his body began to undergo a transformation, strengthening his flesh and power several times over their original levels. I have a feeling that all the dust buried deep in my heart has been swept away. My mind is like a Bodhi mirror, untainted by any speck of dust. At this moment, Lu Yun had stopped cultivating. He inspected his sea of consciousness and found that his sea of consciousness space had changed again, becoming even more expansive, and the gray mist inside had become denser. He looked inward into his body and saw that his flesh, bones, internal organs had all undergone qualitative changes, all glowing with purple gold radiance, appearing extremely sacred. Afterward, Lu Yun's gaze fell on the panel, checking the changes brought about by condensing rune seeds this time. Name, Lu Yun Force. Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army Cultivation Technique. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Golden Body Episode, Perceive Truth. Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, 6th Layer. Traceless 100%. Life Destruction Saber Techniques, 2nd Layer. Unparalleled Blood Blade, 100%. Wind Thunder Manual, 3rd Layer. Instant Horizon, 100%. Fist Scripture, 2nd Layer. Sky Lion Shaking the Sky, 100%. Finger Scripture, 1st Layer. Formless Tribulation Finger, 100%. Sky. Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, 3rd Layer. 1 Invincible Strike, 100%. Innate Talent, Level 10, Mortal Level Limit, Martial Arts. Half-Step Rune Seed Realm, Superior Rune Seed. Energy Value, 895,000. Automatically increasing by 100 per day. Concept, Slaughter Conception, 8th Stage 1%. Thunder Conception, 7th Stage 1%. Spatial Conception, 7th Stage 1%. Skill, Alchemy Technique, 7th Stage 1%. Talent, White Lotus Flame, 7th Stage 53%. Luck Value, 65. Chapter 479. Terrifying Thunder Tribulation. Golden Core Combat Power First. The martial arts realm transformed from the peak of the Golden Body realm to the half-step Rune Seed realm. Next, his innate talent also changed, impressively rising to a 10-star innate talent. Mortal level limit? Lu Yun's gaze was suddenly drawn to the information that appeared behind his innate talent. The 10-star innate talent is merely the limit of the mortal level. Could it be that there are even stronger natural gifts above the 10-star innate talent? Thinking of this, Lu Yun couldn't help but be astonished. As far as he knew, the strongest innate talent in the 12 states of Morijin was only 10 stars. Now, Lu Yun had already reached this limit, but suddenly discovered that this was only the limit of the mortal level, and the shock in his heart could not be overstated. However, Lu Yun's vision was not limited to Morijin, so he quickly accepted this fact. At the moment when Lu Yun's rune seeds and the purple flower containing the vast aura of law merged together, his aura was unable to suppress its rise. Rumble, rumble. In the void, terrifying tribulation clouds gathered and heavenly thunder rolled. Could it be that he just condensed his rune seed and now has to face the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation? Lu Yun's superior rune seed condensation, which attracted the heavenly phenomenon and received the heavenly gift of reunion of 99, had already shocked the many heavenly demon extermination generals. But now, the regathering of the thunder tribulation in the sky, as well as Lu Yun's rapidly rising aura, left these mysterious golden core realm powerhouses somewhat stunned. It's not good. Lu Yun's rune seed tribulation seems to be a bit unusual. Nangong Rue raised his head and looked at the sky filled with dark clouds and tribulation clouds, his brows furrowed. The 1 to 3 thunder tribulation was the tribulation punishment that descended upon a martial artist's rune seed tribulation. Even if a heavenly pride condensed a superior rune seed, the tribulation punishment they triggered would still be within the scope of the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation, although it would be much more terrifying. However, judging from the brewing thunder tribulation in the sky, it seemed that there was not only 3 levels of tribulation, but also a more formidable power that made people feel a scalp-tingling sensation from afar. In contrast to these solemn-faced, heavenly demon extermination generals, Lu Yun seemed quite calm. He had experienced an abnormal thunder tribulation when he entered the golden body realm, so he had been prepared for a stronger and more terrifying thunder tribulation during his advancement to the rune seed realm. Under the horrifying tribulation clouds, Lu Yun stood in the void, with his black hair shining like silk and fluttering in the wind. The thunder's tribulation descended all of a sudden. In an instant, Lu Yun's body trembled. Inside his body, endless golden energy blood boiled, forming a golden mist. It carried a vast power that seemed to suppress heaven and earth. The golden brilliance intertwined with the purple tribulation force, and Lu Yun stood unmoving in the ocean of thunderbolts. It's time to improve the thunder conception. Lu Yun not only didn't fear the thunder tribulation, but also treated it as a resource for improving his thunder conception. Rumble, rumble. The thunder tribulation continued to bombard, but it was unable to harm Lu Yun's golden body, merely causing his figure to tremble slightly. This is simply a monster. These heavenly demon extermination generals, who are all powerhouses in the golden core realm, were stunned and speechless at the sight of Lu Yun's tribulation crossing method. Before they faced their own tribulation, they had prepared everything thoroughly and had various items ready to deal with the tribulation. Under the thunder tribulation, they were even more terrified, afraid of falling. However, Lu Yun not only showed no fear, but he also treated the tribulation as a resource to smelt and enhance his attitude. No wonder the heavenly gift he received when condensing superior rune seeds far exceeded his predecessors. Lu Yun really deserves it. Nangong Run said solemnly. The others all shook their heads and smiled bitterly. Nangong Run's natural talent was far superior to theirs, but it merely made them envious. Lu Yun's talent, however, made them feel that their Tao heart was collapsing. At this time, they also suddenly understood that when condensing a superior rune seed, it was not only to prevent interference from those below the Golden Core realm. The most important reason was to prevent damaging their martial arts spirit. "Refine it for me." Lu Yun pulled in his hands, and the sky was filled with golden light. Countless lightning bolts fell on his body. As the power of thunderbolts flowed throughout his body, the thunder conception on his panel rapidly increased. Thunder conception upgraded to 7th level 2%. Thunder conception upgraded to 7th level 3%. Thunder conception upgraded to 7th level 7%. The first wave of thunder tribulation raised the thunder conception from the beginning of level 7 to 7%, with a level of efficiency that even Lu Yen was surprised by. At the same time, after absorbing the tribulation power from the thunder tribulation, the rune seed in the Yuan Hai became even more tenacious, and it merged with the purple flower condensed from the vast spiritual power and laws at an increasingly faster speed. Those observing Lu Yun's tribulation crossing could see from afar that one after another, laws interweaved around the void where Lu Yun was, emitting a terrifying and powerful aura. 1, 2. Some people carefully counted the emerging law runes and were surprised to find that they numbered more than 120. However, the law runes were moving so swiftly intertwined with powerful aura, and there were so many of them that it made people's eyes dizzy, so they did not arrive at an exact result. Finally, the first wave of thunder tribulation was completely consumed, and the sky filled with dark tribulation, clouds became even more terrifying. In the gap between the converging thunder clouds, Lu Yin took the opportunity to check the changes in his rune seed. At this moment, the rune seed became extremely solid, and the law runes that pervaded it also underwent changes. Chapter 480. Terrifying Thunder Tribulation. Golden Core Combat Power _2. Each of Lu Yin's law runes initially only had one golden line. However, after absorbing the tribulation power and merging with the laws in the purple flower, the number of lines on each rune increased by tenfold. The rune seed realm is all about continuously strengthening the laws in the runes. The more laws a rune contains, the stronger it is. Typically amongst mid-level rune seed realm practitioners, each rune would contain no more than 10 laws. Yet, even before his thunder tribulation was complete, Lu Yun's runes had as many laws as those of other mid-level rune seed realm practitioners, which was truly terrifying. However, the rune seed Lu Yun was refining was an unprecedented superior rune seed, the number of which dwarfed those in a normal rune seed realm by several times. Under everyone's expectant and shocked gazes, the second wave of thunder tribulation was finally ready. A howl rang out. The vast thunder tribulation transformed into numerous demon beasts, tigers, lions, huge wolves, all wildly roaring in the dark sea of clouds. Anomalous thunder tribulation. As expected, it's an anomalous thunder tribulation. Nan Gongrun seemed to be slightly at a loss for words at this moment. From his understanding, when an individual's talent or foundation exceeded a certain limit and they broke through a major realm, the induced thunder tribulation would be far more ferocious. Average heavenly prides might not even be able to survive a single blow. At this time, the gaze of Gongsun Zhonghong also shifted subtly, and a powerful aura radiated from him. Lu Yin, if you can't withstand it, you can tell me. I can help you protect your cultivation. Some heavenly prides and saint children, when inducing particularly terrifying thunder tribulations and without possessing powerful treasures or skills to cross them, had to seek assistance from stronger individuals or elders to help them traverse the tribulation. The second wave of thunder tribulation triggered by Lu Yin was clearly substantially more formidable than those induced by mere heavenly prides, based on the scene of dark clouds covering the sky alone. Nevertheless, facing such a terrifying thunder tribulation, Lu Yun's handsome face remained as calm as water, his eyes devoid of any disturbance. Army Commander Gongsun, there's no need for that. Such a small thunder tribulation is hardly worth mentioning. I can handle it on my own." Hearing Lu Yun's words, Gongsun Zhonghong gave a faint smile. The heavenly level demon extermination generals, observing the tribulation, were all dumbstruck. Gongsun Zhonghong, one of the vice commanders of the demon suppression army, held a high position and terrifying strength, almost standing at the peak of Meridian's hierarchy. At this moment, he appeared to be expressing goodwill towards Lu Yun, leaving the others confused. Only Nangongran, who gave Gongsun Zhonghong a meaningful glance, understood the underlying reason as one of the saint children. At that moment, the demon beasts transformed from the thunder tribulation finally started roaring out from the sea of clouds. Their terrifying aura shook the heavens, causing people to shudder. Lu Yun looked up, a smile on his face and full of spirit, showing absolutely no fear of these terrifying thunder beasts. A thunder tiger slammed into Lu Yun, pouring its terrifying thunder tribulation directly into Lu Yun's body, causing him to stagger slightly. Following this, a thunder wolf and thunder lion attacked from all directions, landing their blows on Lu Yun one after another. Soon, it was evident that the space where Lu Yun was had turned into a wild and terrifying realm of thunder, where almost no breath could be sensed. This terrifying thunder tribulation, can Lu Yun actually withstand it? One of the heavenly level demon extermination generals gasped in horror. Being a golden core realm powerhouse, he could feel the power of this thunder tribulation, which was almost comparable to the tribulation he himself faced when advancing to the golden core realm. Boom! The thunder beasts transformed from the second wave of thunder tribulation were around 10,000 in number. They ceaselessly slammed into Lu Yun, turning the surrounding hundreds of miles of void into an ocean of thunder. The volatile force completely masked all aura, leaving the spectators worried as they could no longer sense Lu Yun's aura. However, seeing the ever-composed Gongsun Zhonghong, they quickly understood that the thunder tribulation likely hadn't caused any life-threatening danger to Lu Yun. Otherwise, based on Gongsun Zhonghong's previous display, he would definitely not just sit by and do nothing. Within the endless thunderous torrents and among the myriad thunder beasts, Lu Yun's body and breath began to undergo rapid transformation. Besides that, the amount of laws on his runes increased significantly. The increase in the number of laws on his runes rendered them even more robust and powerful. The countless tribulation power forges my immortal rune seed. Lu Yun was madly absorbing the power from the thunder tribulation, strengthening the vast rune seed in his Yuan Hai. Gradually, Lu Yun absorbed all the tribulation power from the endless thunder tribulation, perfectly integrating it into his rune seed. Along with the increase in the number of laws, Lu Yun's aura elevated progressively. Although Lu Yun was just at the early phase of the rune seed realm, the unintentional release of his aura was even more terrifying than that of those at the peak of the rune seed realm. He actually passed the second wave of thunder tribulation unscathed. We must have underestimated him. Some heavenly level demon extermination generals shook their heads and sighed with a bitter smile. After the second thunder tribulation ended, the third one began to rapidly brew. Its speed was much faster than the previous one, as if unwilling to give Lu Yun any time to recover. Boom! Even before the thunder tribulation struck, the dark sea of clouds in the sky was churning wildly, with terrifying thunder beasts taking shape within. Roar! Suddenly, a purple thunder dragon spiraled out from the sea of clouds. Its massive body trembled, causing the void to quiver slightly. Seeing this purple thunder dragon, Lu Yun's expression turned serious. Clearly, he was feeling a certain level of pressure at this point. It seems that the heavens do not wish for me to pass the tribulation peacefully, Lu Yun thought to himself. Chapter 481. Terrifying Thunder Tribulation. Golden Core Combat Power _3. This thunder-condensed dragon emitted an aura that could almost rival that of a true Golden Core realm expert. Under the boost of the Thunder Tribulation, it was even not weaker than a genuine Golden Core realm powerhouse. This goes to show how terrifying the third wave of Thunder Tribulation is. The Golden Core realm experts who were there to observe were truly speechless this time. Is this still a 1 to 3 Thunder Tribulation one? Their 2 to 6 Heavenly Tribulation during their promotion to the Golden Core realm was merely like this. Hiss, hiss. The tribulation cloud was continuously rolling, and the lightning snakes were rolling in the tribulation cloud, surrounding the purple flood dragon. Suddenly, an immense pressure was borne towards Lu Yun below, and in an instant he felt that the power of the whole space became extremely wild. Even breathing was somewhat difficult, as if there was a huge mountain on his chest. By absorbing this last wave of tribulation power, my rune seed should be able to stabilize and be solidified completely. Facing such a terrifying thunder tribulation, Lu Yin was most looking forward to using the tribulation power to enhance himself. Boom! A loud thunderclap, a dozen thick purple lightning bolts, like flood dragons, twisted downward, and then carried an unstoppable, terrifying momentum, rushing toward the ark in the air, as if God slaying demons, with incredibly formidable power. Lu Yun let go of all his defenses and allowed the thunder flood dragon to strike his body. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Several wounds appeared on Lu Yun's body in an instant, and a head of extremely dark hair was instantly electrocuted upright by the thunderbolt. After experiencing several breakthroughs, each strand of hair on his head was extremely tough, comparable to steel. But under such a terrifying thunder tribulation, it appeared exceptionally fragile, and it quickly perished in the thunderbolt. With the rolling thunderclap, the huge thunder dragon in the black tribulation cloud was still growing in power, and it slowly opened its eyes. Not good, the thunder tribulation is still getting stronger. Lu Yun was shocked. He could clearly remember that during his last confrontation with the sect master of Netherworld sect, the other party's full outburst seemed not as powerful as this thunder dragon. The moment the eyes of the thunder dragon opened, countless purple thunderbolts wriggled down from the sky like divine dragons, carrying a world-shattering momentum, and brazenly bombarded Lu Yin. Lu Yin took a deep breath, then golden light filled his entire body. Runes intertwined, and he soared up into the sky, actively confronting the terrifying thunder dragon. Boom! Rumble! Consecutive crashing sounds occurred, and Lu Yun's entire body was directly smashed from the void and heavily crashed into the mountain. The thunder dragon continued its unstoppable rampage and directly shattered the giant mountain, which was 1,000 feet tall. Thunderbolts erupted, and the destructive and violent power spread throughout the world. Countless towering trees were burned black by the thunderbolts. This thunder tribulation is too terrifying. Lu Yun can't, a 7th rank heavenly level demon extermination general, who was in the middle stage of the Golden Core realm, was about to sigh when his pupils suddenly shrank. But a golden light suddenly appeared in his sight, and it was Lu Yin who had once again faced the mighty and unparalleled Thunder Dragon. Golden Core Realm's Thunder Dragon, it's nothing more than this. Lu Yin spread his hands wide apart, and a huge, terrifying rune seed suddenly appeared. More than 100 dazzling runes shone on it, forming golden rune chains that entwined around the Thunder Dragon. The purple flood dragon formed by the terrifying torrent of thunderbolts roared and struggled madly, but it couldn't break free. In an instant, countless gray tribulation powers were plucked from the thunder dragon and quickly poured into the rune seed. This is simply a monster. This was the first time Nangong Run spoke out. Until now, he had never seen anyone absorb the tribulation power from the thunder tribulation like this. Watching Lu Yin, whose aura was constantly rising, a glimmer of brilliance flashed in Gong Sun Zonghong's eyes. He is indeed worthy of reliance and trust. Finally, the purple thunder dragon, comparable to a golden core realm expert, slowly dissipated in the void with an unwilling roar, and the pitch-black tribulation cloud in the sky also gradually receded. Heaven and earth finally regained their brightness. Lu Yun's harvest was also very pleasing. First of all, his cultivation directly soared to the limit of the early stage of Rune Seed Realm, with an extremely solid foundation. This was still the result of him desperately suppressing it, otherwise he would have no problem breaking through to the late stage of Rune Seed Realm in one fell swoop. Besides his realm, Lu Yun's body also underwent a transformation. With the help of this thunder tribulation tempering, his physical strength doubled again. And of course, the thunder conception also increased to 7th rank 35%. Every time the 7th rank thunder conception progresses, it consumes 10,000 energy points. This time, it helped me save more than 300,000 energy points. Thinking of this, Lu Yun's mouth slightly curved into an arc. However, this movement caused a pain in his body that made him gasp, and he quickly activated the vital energy in his body to rapidly recover from his injuries. After advancing from the Golden Body Realm to the Rune Seed Realm, the vital energy in Lu Yun's body became even stronger. With merely a small portion being used, his injuries began to heal quickly. Moreover, the bald head also grew dense, dark hair again. This hair was much stronger and of higher quality than before, in both hardness and quality. It could be said that any single strand of hair on Lu Yun's head now could be used as a sharp weapon. The many Golden Core Realm experts saw that Lu Yun had smoothly passed the Thunder Tribulation, and as he was still sitting in the void, they extinguished their ideas of sharing and left one after another. As of now, the battle situation was tense, and they could not stay in the Demon Suppression Army camp at all times. They had to take turns with other heavenly-level demon extermination generals. As for Gong Sun Zhonghong, his figure disappeared in the void after Lu Yun safely passed the tribulation. With his departure, the golden barriers that stretched across the earth also vanished. Chapter 482. Two divine abilities. The thunder tribulation of Lu Yun's advancement to Rune Seed Realm came to a close amidst this tumultuous shock and awe. Many powerful heavenly-level demon extermination generals, their faces still filled with amazement as they left, had yet to recover from the shock. Whether it was Lu Yun condensing superior rune seeds, receiving the gift of reunion of 99 from the will of heaven and earth, or the terrifying combat power he demonstrated when weathering the tribulation of the rune seeds, all of it had left these experts at the apex of the martial arts pyramid astounded and incredulous. Even some of these heavenly-level demon extermination generals murmured that with the strength displayed by Lu Yun, they doubted it would be much inferior to their own. In a few months, or within a year and a half, he would surpass these older generations. But regardless, all the experts who witnessed Lu Yun's condensing of rune seeds and his powerful tribulation crossing today understood that in the upcoming battlefield, a new superstar would rise. In the near future, the Mori Jin Demon Suppression Army will see the emergence of a celestial human powerhouse, standing tall like the pillar of the sky. The Golden Core experts all retreated, each to their own duties. The celestial experts' blockade vanished, and Lu Yun, sitting cross-legged in midair, came into full view of the Demon Suppression Army in the camp. However, his body was continually shrouded in golden light, obscuring the sight of others. And so time passed leisurely. Various powerful beings stayed in the Demon Suppression Army's camp, coming and going, and an innumerable number of martial artists fell on the endless battlefield every day, all of which was unknown to Lu Yun. He kept refining and consuming the feedback of the will of heaven and earth. After 3 days, he had finally digested the feedback from the will of the heavens and earth, and as agreed, his cultivation had broken through to the midterm of the Rune Seed Realm. At this point, the rune seed above his Yuan Hai had become more round and expansive, its law aura more intense than before by several folds at least. 175 runes. Each one had at least 100 law patterns. The most powerful rune among them had a staggering 130 five-law patterns. Such a vast and powerful rune made Lu Yin's strength unprecedentedly powerful. While his strength increased rapidly, he needed some cultivation techniques to fully utilize it. So, Lu Yin did not immediately end his cultivation, but began to comprehend his own rune, seed divine ability. Obviously, this process was long and without opportunity. Even with his innate talent, there was no guarantee of immediate success. Right when I joined the Demon Suppression Army, didn't Wei Tianluan give me a rune seed containing a divine ability? Thinking of this, Lu Yun's eyes lit up, and he promptly took it out. A radiant light flickered, and a white, crystalline, and mysterious rune seed appeared in his sight. Runes pervaded its surface, intertwining with the vast power of the law, much like white jade, floating in front of Lu Yun. The divine ability contained in this rune seed was a comprehension in fragmentary form. Thousands of fragments were contained in it, all disorganized. This was like a giant comprehension puzzle of tens of thousands of pieces. Only by comprehending and combining them one by one could they form a complete comprehension and figure out the divine ability contained within. So, even with a rune seed, it wasn't easy to comprehend the divine ability within. It required both opportunity and personal insights. Of course, this was easier compared to relying solely on one's own potential and talent to comprehend their divine ability. It must be said that after increasing his innate talent to level 10, Lu Yun's gifts and insights greatly improved. In just over 2 days, he had comprehended all the fragments of the divine ability in the rune seed. Next, what needed to be done was to connect them to form his own rune seed divine ability. Another 2 days passed, and suddenly, in the sky above the Demon Suppression Army's camp, powerful runes began to fly about and shimmer, their law aura spreading and weaving in the void. This spectacle lasted for 3 days and 2 nights without stopping. Whenever someone comprehends a divine ability, it causes an anomaly in the heavens and earth. I wonder who the lucky one is who has mastered a rune seed divine ability, mused these demon extermination generals resting in the camp who were fortunate enough to witness this scene, with inevitable envy. Suddenly, a faint sound came from the void, growing louder and louder. Hum! A sudden sword hum reverberated, echoing between heaven and earth. In the camp, all the weapons in the hands of the Demon Suppression Army trembled uncontrollably as if responding to a call. What powerful saber intent! Hong Xinghui's face underwent a severe change. He had just returned from the battlefield, and as soon as he entered the camp, he felt the anomaly in the heaven and earth, immediately knowing that someone had comprehended a rune seed divine ability. Soon after, he felt a terrifying saber intent among the countless sword hums, dominating and unrivaled, full of killing intent. He had seen many saber cultivation experts, but he had never seen such overbearing and deadly saber intent. Despite having not yet witnessed the power of this divine ability, the saber intent alone was enough for him to understand that the sky and the earth were the domain of the divine ability, which was about to come into the world, would not be inferior to the potential of his magnetic giant peak. The sword humming persisted. The anomaly in the sky and earth did not cease until the sun set and the moon rose, when the anomaly finally disappeared. Lu Yin opened his eyes, and a dazzling saber chi flitted by in front of his eyes, which exploded with a crack. The terrifying power shredded the lingering gray mist in the air into dust. Regarding the twist and turn in front of him, Lu Yin took no notice of it and instead focused on the panel. Name Lu Yin. Chapter 483. 2 Divine Abilities _ 2 Influence. Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army, Cultivation Technique, Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Rune Seed Chapter, Small Achievement 12%, Astonishing Wind Saber Manual 6th Layer, Traceless 100% can merge, Life Destruction Saber Techniques 2nd Layer, Unparalleled Blood Blade 100% can merge, Wind, Thunder Manual, 3rd layer. Instant Horizon, 100%. Fist Scripture, 2nd layer. Sky Lion Shaking the Sky, 100%. Finger. Scripture, 1st layer. Formless Tribulation Finger, 100%. Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, 3rd layer. One Invincible Strike, 100%. Heaven and Earth Draw Saber Slash pre-entry can upgrade. Innate Talent, 10 stars mortal level limit, martial arts, rune seed mid-level, energy value, 895,000, automatically increases by 100 per day. Conception, Slaughter Conception, 8 stage 1%, Thunder Conception, 7th stage 35 degrees per degree, Spatial Conception, 7th stage 1%. Skill, Alchemy Technique, 7th stage 1%. Gift, White Lotus Flame, 7th stage 53%. Luck Value, 77 at this time. A divine ability suddenly appeared on the panel. Precisely Heaven and Earth Draw Saber Slash. Furthermore, the originally unmergeable Astonishing Wind Saber Manual and Life Destruction Saber Techniques appeared with a remark that they could be merged. For a moment, Lu Yin almost thought he was seeing things wrong, but after looking again, he found that they could indeed be merged. Since that's the case, I'll try merging them and see. Lu Yin's eyes flickered, and he immediately made up his mind. Merge. Lu Yin moved his thoughts, and the 2 saber techniques immediately entered the merging process. Boom! Above the Demon Suppression Army camp, the sky and earth once again had a strange phenomenon, causing many people to be affected and had to stop what they were doing, going out to look at the sky. It was still the saber-ringing sound that echoed through the heavens and the earth, but it caused a much greater commotion than the last time. Saber Intent, and an even more powerful one. Has his divine ability undergone another transformation? Hong Xinghui's voice was inexplicable, and he looked at Lu Yin, who was cultivating in the void, with a shocked expression on his face. At this point, he had learned that Lu Yin had condensed superior rune seeds, passed through the thunder tribulation, and become a true rune seed realm. Is this the power of a rune seed's divine ability? It can even make my treasured saber tremble. It really is incredible. Lu Yin, this guy, is indeed a monster. He just condensed the rune seed and caused a terrifying thunder tribulation. Now he has realized the divine ability of the rune seed. In the camp, some of the strong were full of shock, while others were filled with longing. Divine ability for the majority of the rune seed realm was a very rare existence. Only a few Golden Core realm powerhouses could casually view it, as they had mostly advanced to the Golden Core realm by relying on top-grade rune seeds. It was impossible to advance to the Golden Core realm with low-grade rune seeds. Middle-grade rune seeds, only with a chance opportunity, could possibly advance to the Golden Core. Therefore, among the Golden Core realm powerhouses, most of them mastered divine abilities, and seeing the heavenly phenomena, they were not too surprised. The only thing that shocked them was that Lu Yin had just broken through to the rune seed realm and realized the divine ability so quickly. But when they thought about Lu Yin's terrifying accumulation, it all seemed inevitable. I knew it. Lu Yin is not a calm person. This proves it. Wei Zongqing, who was covered in injuries, returned to the camp and saw the strange phenomenon in the sky. He heard from others that it was triggered by Lu Yin and smiled bitterly. Not long ago, Lu Yin had caused quite a stir on the battlefield, leading 2 Golden Core realm powerhouses to appear on the Rune Seed realm battlefields, and they engaged in a fierce fight. It lasted 2 days and 2 nights before it came to an end. During this period, many Rune Seed realm and Gold Body realm cultivators were implicated. Now that Lu Yin entered the Demon Suppression Army camp, he was still restless and causing commotion from time to time. Shaking his head slightly, Wei Zongqing went to find a place to seclude himself and recover. The injuries he sustained this time were heavier than any previous injuries. His gold Bodis vitality was almost exhausted, and the law in his rune seed was nearly depleted. With such injuries, there was no time to waste, so he left in a hurry without greeting Lu Yin. Name: Lu Yin. Influence: Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army, Cultivation Technique, Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Rune Seed Chapter, Small Achievement 12%, Wind Thunder Manual, 3rd layer, Instant Horizon 100%, Fifth Scripture, 2nd layer, Sky Lion Shaking the Sky 100%, Finger Scripture, 1st layer, Formless Tribulation Finger 100%, Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, 3rd layer, One Invincible Strike 100%, Demon Slaying God-Killing Saber, Divine Ability Level 1. Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / Pre-Entry, Innate Talent, 10 stars Mortal Level Limit, Martial Arts, Rune Seed Mid-Level, Energy Value, 395,000, automatically increases by 100 per day. Conception, Slaughter Conception, 8th stage 1%, Thunder Conception, 7th stage 35%, Spatial Conception, 7th stage 1%. Skill, Alchemy Technique, 7th stage 1%. Gift, White Lotus Flame, 7th stage 53%. Luck Value, 77. Demon Slaying God-Killing Saber. Lu Yun recalled the memory in his mind and finally opened his eyes. The Demon Slaying God-Killing Saber is a divine ability formed by merging the astonishing Wind Saber Manual and Life Destruction Saber techniques. Merging this divine ability consumed a total of 500,000 energy value. However, the results were good. The Demon Slaying God-Killing Saber had skipped the pre-entry stage and directly entered the 1st level. Lu Yun speculated that it was quite likely because he had cultivated both techniques to an extremely high level, naturally entering the 1st level after merging. Looking at the 2 divine abilities on the panel, Lu Yun was very satisfied. Now that he had 2 divine abilities, he had surpassed 99% of the Rune Seed Realm cultivators. The only regret was that the other cultivation techniques could not be merged into divine abilities. Chapter 484. 2 divine abilities _3, but Lu Yin was not in a hurry, as sword techniques and fist techniques could also be merged into divine abilities. The fusion of divine abilities consumes too much energy, and it also takes energy to upgrade later. With my current pace of acquiring energy, I can't keep up with the consumption. There's no need to fuse new divine abilities for now. The Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / and Demon Slaying God-Killing Saber, these 2 divine abilities should be enough for me to use. Lu Yun looked at his own panel and thought to himself, because of the accumulation of his majestic prowess and the gifts from heaven and earth, his promotion to the mid-stage of the Rune Seed Realm didn't consume any energy points. Nowadays, with the foundation of the Gold Body Realm and the gifts from heaven and earth exhausted, the advancement of the pure Yang martial arts canon requires a large amount of energy points. Thinking of this, Lu Yun already had the idea of ending his seclusion. Only on the battlefield could he quickly collect trophies and accumulate energy points. Last time, if it wasn't for being pursued by a Golden Core Realm powerhouse, he would have definitely fought till the end before voluntarily leaving the battlefield. Now, with his strength greatly enhanced, he had the idea of rejoining the battlefield. After promoting the Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / to the 1st level of divine abilities, he'll join the battlefield again. With the remaining energy points insufficient to upgrade the Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / he sorted out the spiritual objects he had collected and began refining pills. Being at level 7 alchemy technique, he naturally mastered the refining of some 6th grade pills. Not long after, he had more than 100 6th grade pills in front of him, 90% of which were top quality pills with pill patterns. Spending half a day to completely refine them, his energy points broke through the 1 million mark again, reaching 1,160,000. This was because his promotion to the Rune Seed Realm had led to the reduced effectiveness of the 6th grade pills. With a thought, 500,000 energy points were suddenly deducted. In an instant, Lu Yin felt his soul being drawn by an inexplicable force. The scene changed. Darkness, the ultimate darkness. Just as Lu Yin was feeling this mysterious situation, a ray of light suddenly rose from the depths of the darkness. Wherever the light passed, darkness dissipated. When his soul landed on this light, he immediately felt a domineering and unparalleled intent. It was saber intent, pure and powerful beyond compare. At the same time, this streak of light that tore through the heavens and earth was a saber light that cut through time and space. Lu Yin was firmly attracted to this saber light, as if he had merged with it. With its ultimate speed, the saber light cut through layers of darkness, annihilating everything in its path. Boom! Darkness receded, revealing a scene of the reopening of heaven and earth, as well as the great drama of creation. Buzz! In his sea of consciousness, this terrifying saber intent suddenly swept across, intertwining with another saber intent, forming two blood-red dragons, flying towards the blood-red lotus seat. Boom! After the intense collision and merging, the lotus petals swayed, exuding an extremely rich saber chi and blood-red killing intent. In an instant, Lu Yin felt a sea of consciousness once again expand, and his spiritual power reached an unprecedented peak. Once again, focusing his mind, he looked at the panel and saw that the slaughter conception had indeed been promoted to the 8th stage, 41%. My slaughter conception has always been based on saber cultivation. Now, due to the comprehension of saber cultivation divine abilities, my saber intent has surged. After merging it, my slaughter conception has also experienced explosive growth. Lu Yin's eyes sparkled. Now that the slaughter conception had been enhanced again, it would inevitably lead to another transformation of his martial arts will, giving him the true power of the Golden Core realm. Of course, he had not yet faced a true Golden Core realm powerhouse. It's time to go to the battlefield. Lu Yin's gaze suddenly turned towards the distant gray void. Chapter 485. Invincible, instantly killing peak of Rune Seed realm tens of thousands of miles away from the endless battlefield was Een Wind Mountain, where over 20 martial artists of the Golden Core realm gathered within a camp. Among them, 3 exuded extremely powerful auras, seemingly fused with the heavens and earth, and had clearly reached the peak of the Golden Core realm. In front of them stood an aged and withered elder. This elder had no discernible aura and seemed no different from an ordinary old man. Yet all the Golden Core experts looked at him with respect. The elder looked at one of the peak Golden Core experts and said indifferently, "Black Witch, you just came from the Northfield battlefront. How is the situation there?" The Golden Core expert known as Black Witch spoke solemnly. Reporting to Venerable, the Demon Suppression Army on the Northfield battlefront is terrifyingly powerful. They have 2 Celestials Venerable overseeing the battle, with no less than 50 Golden Core experts and an army of 3 million soldiers. I'm afraid it won't last much longer. Qin Shan Venerable ordered me to come and seek reinforcements. What? There are 2 Celestial Venerables stationed at the Northfield battlefront, deployed only by the Demon Suppression Army? Upon hearing the news, the Golden Core experts' expressions changed slightly with a solemn look on their faces. If the Northfield battlefront collapses, the status quo they have been maintaining here would be at risk of being overturned. Only the elder remained calm and asked indifferently, "How are your casualties and how long can you keep it up?" In the past few months, 5 Golden Core experts and nearly 100 Rune Seed experts have been killed by the Demon Suppression Army. Countless martial artists from other levels were also killed. However, we have only killed 2 of their Golden Core experts. Black, which spoke with a hoarse voice, am worried that our casualties will be heavier in the next few battles. Why is the casualty rate of our Golden Core experts so high? One of the Golden Core experts asked curiously, while the others also seemed puzzled. Black, which glanced at the crowd and said solemnly, "Our Golden Core experts may not be much weaker than the Demon Suppression Army one-on-one, but the enemy has 2 celestial venerables, while our side has only Qin Shan Venerable, who can't take care of everything during a battle." Hearing this, the Golden Core experts nodded. Even though Qin Shan Venerable is an experienced celestial, they were powerless to face 2 opponents at the same time. Moreover, the fact that the situation in the North Field battlefront has lasted this long is already quite difficult to achieve. "Venerable, if we don't receive reinforcements, we can only hold out on the North Field battlefront for up to half a month." Black, which looked at the elder in front of him and spoke gravely. The pressure on Qin Shan, indeed, seems to be weighing heavily. The elder gazed at the gloomy void in the distance and spoke slowly from the Golden Core experts to the ordinary martial artists. Everyone must be deployed to the battlefield and finish the battle within half a month to support the North Field battlefront. Upon hearing these words, the numerous Golden Core experts exchanged glances, their expressions turning solemn. They had also been in a stalemate with the Demon Suppression Army here for several months, and knew that the top combat power of the other side was not weaker than theirs. It was easier said than done to end the battle within half a month. However, since the Venerable had given the order, they had no choice but to obey. "Venerable, I, Black Witch, am willing to be a vanguard." The elder nodded slightly. Gong Sun Jonghong sat in mid-air above the Demon Suppression Army camp. Suddenly, he sensed something and his eyes snapped open. As expected, you couldn't sit still after finding out about the situation in the North Field battlefront. Immediately, his majestic figure suddenly stood up, emanating a vast golden light before descending towards the earth below. "By my order, gather every last breath of the Demon Suppression Army and deploy everyone to the battlefield." His booming voice sounded like thunder, echoing in the ears and hearts of the people below. "Ha ha ha! After all these days of cultivation, my strength has improved a lot. I'm sure it'll kill some strong enemies once again. Sigh, I didn't expect the decisive battle to come so quickly, and I haven't fully recovered from my injury." For a time, there was pandemonium in the Demon Suppression Army camp. The final battle has finally arrived. It's time to decide the outcome. Zhuo Liang's heart turned cold, and he growled, "Give the order, get ready! Get ready! Get ready!" One command after another was passed through the vast camp. Within a quarter of an hour, all the Demon Suppression Army who were resting, cultivating, and recovering from their injuries came out of the camp and formed various battle formations. Above each formation hovered lower-ranked, Earth-rank demon extermination generals. Lu Yin was among them. He had just finished his cultivation and was about to set off when he encountered this scene. "Set off!" The huge and resounding voice echoed in the void, with numerous Golden Core experts transforming into rainbows and disappearing into the void. "Set off!" Earth-rank demon extermination generals issued their orders and led the Demon Suppression Army to the battlefield. Rumble! The massive Demon Suppression Army surged forward, causing the ground to shake violently. Although there weren't as many Demon Suppression Army troops in the camp as there were on the battlefield, there were nearly 1 million soldiers now heading out. Led by those rune seed experts, they quickly entered the battlefield. The Demon Suppression Army will be victorious. Victorious! The Demon Suppression Army entered the battlefield like a torrent of rivers, causing the already colossal battlefield to become even more crowded. Kill, kill! On the other side, the martial artists of the Red Moon Demon Sect and the 9 Nether Demon Sect factions roared with fury and soaring battle intent. Long knives swung, true origins poured out, and martial art techniques were used without restraint. They knew that this battle must be won and could not be lost. Chapter 486, Invincible, Instantly Killing Peak of Rune Seed Realm _2 Otherwise. All that awaits them is death. If that's the case, why should they fear death? The martial artists of the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect have a strong belief, but compared to the Demon Suppression Army, they are still somewhat lacking. Every member of the Demon Suppression Army has emerged from the countless martial artists of Morijin after experiencing numerous tribulations. They've grown slowly with their unyielding spirit and lack of fear towards death. Although the Demon Suppression Army may not have the best talent, their willpower is definitely the most resolute. Under the force of both sides, corpses pile up in the battlefield, blood flows like rivers, and a whiff of crimson aura rises to the sky, turning the originally gray sky into a bloody red. In the distant void, the strong sea beasts watch the suddenly transformed battlefield with an inexplicable sense of fear in their hearts. When the 100 sects first entered the coastal area, they fought fiercely with the sea beasts without fearing death, eventually forcing the sea beast tribe to withdraw from the coastal area and return to their undersea world. The intensity of the current battlefield even surpasses that of the past. We Sea Clan are not united, and the human race also has infighting. One day, we will surely regain this land, a middle-aged man with a domineering face said indifferently in the void. Clan Master, we believe that day will come soon. A group of gigantic sea beasts echoed behind him. In the sky, 3 figures hovered like divine beings. Brother Wei, Brother Hong, I hope that after this battle, I can still see you both unharmed. Lu Yin looked at the intense battlefield with a solemn expression, addressing Wei Zongqing and Hong Xingwu. He had a premonition that this battle would be extremely fierce. Millions of Demon Suppression Army soldiers would likely suffer heavy casualties, and even the Rune Seed Realm experts like Wei Zongqing would face great danger. Don't worry, I have a big life. I will definitely survive to the end, Wei Zongqing said with a smile, showing no signs of fear. Brother Lu, please take care as well, Hong Xingwu said to Lu Yun solemnly. In his opinion, Lu Yun had already been targeted by many Golden Core Realm experts, and the dangers he was about to face were even more grave than theirs. Because the final battle was coming, and the experts from both sides were all taking the stage. This meant that more Golden Core Realm experts would be able to target and attack Lu Yun. All right. Lu Yun nodded heavily and then transformed into a beam of light, rushing into the void battlefield. At this moment, Lu Yun's strength had increased not just once or twice as much as before, but several times. Similarly, his speed had also greatly increased. When he unleashed his full power, it was not weaker than that of a Golden Core Realm expert. That young man is back. Some of the elite forces of the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect changed their expressions when they saw Lu Yun's figure. They had previously witnessed Lu Yun's prowess as he killed more than a dozen Rune Seed Realm experts in front of them. Even the Great Elder of the Netherworld Sect, a peak Rune Seed Realm expert, was killed by him. In the end, the Netherworld Sect Master Yin Wujia had to personally take action, severely injuring Lu Yun and forcing him to leave the battlefield. Now that he had returned, he seemed even more formidable, causing them to feel a sense of fear in their hearts. No matter how monstrous he is, he can't possibly surpass the Rune Seed Realm, said one of the formidable Rune Seed Realm experts coldly, his eyes filled with murderous intent as he stared at Lu Yun, who was quickly approaching. In my entire life, I, Song Jiangluan, have been fond of killing geniuses the most, said a blood-enveloped expert with malicious laughter as he licked his lips. Ha ha ha, count me in too, a mountain-like fat man added with a loud laugh. These experts were all at least at the peak of the Rune Seed Realm, and they have killed numerous Rune Seed Realm experts over the past few months, their killing intent soaring. Having only seen glimpses of Lu Yun on the battlefield, they did not take him seriously. In their eyes, Lu Yun had only killed 1 peak Rune Seed Realm expert. They, on the other hand, had survived to this point with their hands stained with the blood of countless peak Rune Seed Realm experts. Therefore, they were not very impressed by the reputed Lu Yun. Seeing Lu Yun's arrival now, they all competed to take action against him. You're courting death. Cold flashes flickered in Lu Yun's eyes. With a wave of his hands, 10 rays of light shot out like lightning bolts. In an instant, 4 Rune Seed Realm experts had their skulls and hearts pierced. Blood splattered and limbs flew around. These flying swords were gained by Lu Yun after he killed the law enforcement elder of the Profound Darkness sect. The weakest of them were top-grade mysterious weapons, with 3 of them being superior profound artifacts. In Lu Yun's hands, their power was immensely formidable. They could not be stopped by even late-stage Rune Seed Realm experts, let alone those who just entered the realm. Only peak Rune Seed Realm experts could try to block them by going all out. Remember, the one who will kill you, Lu Yun, is me, Song Jiangluen. The peak Rune Seed Realm figure, shrouded in a sea of blood, approached with terrifying power. Lu Yun is mine, Wang Dalu. No one can take him from me. The mountainous fatty didn't want to give up, grabbing a large hammer and attacking first. Lu Yun's previous action of instantly killing 4 Rune Seed Realm warriors did not scare them. On the contrary, it aroused their killing intent. In an instant, 5 peerless experts attacked Lu Yun. Each one was at the peak of the Rune Seed Realm. Among them, Song Jiangluen, who was surrounded by the sea of blood, was at the extreme peak of the Rune Seed Realm. Using numbers to bully the few. Do you really think there's no one left in the demon suppression army? Golden Law River filled the sky, and Zhuang Ziyuan stepped on the promising path, surrounded by golden light. He was now covered in blood, but the fighting spirit in his body soared straight into the sky. Brother Zhuang, you can just watch the battle from the side. As the words fell, Lu Yun turned his gaze and looked at the rolling, torrential sea of blood coming towards him. If I hadn't broken through, you might have been able to fight me. But now, with a single-handed motion, Lu Yun drew the sky brilliance sword from its sheath. The sword radiance filled the sky, creating a scene of devastating power. As Lu Yun's strength increased, so too did the power of the sky brilliance thunder sword true art. With a single slash, the attacks of the 5 Rune Seed Realm Peak experts were directly shattered. Song Jiangluen and the huge fatty were slightly better off, their bodies rapidly retreating in the air. In particular, Song Jianglin's strength reached the extreme of the Rune Seed Realm, just 1 step away from the final Golden Core Realm. However, the other 2 were in a more miserable situation, their mouths spewing large amounts of blood, their bodies being torn apart by the sharp sword qi, resulting in many wounds. The last one had an even more tragic fate, dying in just 1 encounter. Die. Lu Yun simply slashed down again, and a sword radiance broke through the air, all its power falling on one of the Rune Seed Realm Peak experts. The lucky one chosen by Lu Yun immediately felt an intense crisis and quickly activated his rune seed to the extreme, even sacrificing his runes. However, Pucci, a desperate shattering sound was heard, and the peak Rune Seed Realm expert was swallowed by a sword light, torn apart by the terrifying sword intent and reduced to shreds. How is this possible? Duan Tianyi He Guihai was completely stunned. Seeing someone with equivalent strength to him, Duan Tianyi falls so easily in front of Lu Yun's sword. Don't worry, you'll soon join him. Lu Yun's eyes flashed with thunder and blood-red light. The sky brilliance sword moved horizontally in the air and slashed out again. No. Guihai completely lost his fighting spirit and turned to run. At this moment, Lu Yun appeared like a living Golden Core Realm expert in his eyes. But in the end, he was still too late. With a plop sound, the sky brilliance sword split him in half, completely extinguishing his rune seed. In just a few moments, 3 peak Rune Seed Realm experts had fallen. All around, it was deathly silent, seeing such an invincible Lu Yun. Zhuang Ziyuan, who had come to help, fell silent. The fatty who was knocked back, whose strength had reached the top of the Rune Seed Realm, became afraid. The bloody and relentless Song Jiangluen was full of regret, feeling like had fallen into an ice cave. He felt that even if he used his Rune Seed divine ability, it would be difficult to pose any threat to Lu Yun. Damn it! How could he become so strong? He's almost on par with a Golden Core realm expert. Song Jiangluan couldn't understand. How could Lu Yun's strength have increased so rapidly in less than half a month? Next, it's your 2 turns. Lu Yun held his sword and went straight to the other 2. Seeing this, Song Jiangluan and the fatty changed their expression, activating their full power to fight Lu Yun with all their might. Just then, on a battlefield in the void, Yin Wujia, the master of the Netherworld sect, suddenly sensed the fluctuation of the blood soul curse's mark. That brat, who has nearly disappeared for half a month, has finally appeared. So he immediately withdrew from this battlefield and followed the direction of the blood soul curse. Lu Yun, no one can save you this time.